Athletic Brewing Co.
Yep.
What's that about?
Like backstory, I think I saw it on a podcast, but a guy like training for marathons or stuff like that, he wanted to create something that wasn't, didn't have alcohol in it.
Sure.
Obviously, your body's not very good at digesting alcohol, but I think there's like 1%, or it's 0.01% alcohol in there.
Enough to like make it whatever ferment or whatever the hell needs to happen.
To where it's not, like you'd have to drink like maybe 50 of them to maybe get a buzz.
Athletic Brewing Co. Run Wild IPA. Does it taste like an IPA? Is it decent?
Yeah, it's decent. There's another one that I think it's Cerveza is what that one, a different one is called that I got. But these are good too.
Near beer contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming in again.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
2 years later.
2 years later. Yeah, almost 2 years. What was it?
316.
3/16/22. So, yeah. 22 months later. Good to have you back in. What's new? How are you? How are things?
It's good. A lot of things are different. Some things are the same.
God, that tastes good. I really wanted a beer today. I was
days.
debating all day if I was going to have one or not. Sorry, go ahead. A lot of things are different.
Yeah, but I would say that since the last time we talked, I mean, I've seen you obviously in and out between then, but still at Worldwide. Now I've been there for 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, last week was my three-year anniversary. So,
Congrats.
Gone through a lot of different things at Worldwide. Started off to a rocky start, but it's different being in a corporate setting as opposed to prior to that. Being at a golf course to where you're an hourly employee. Like you work from 7 to 3 in the afternoon or what have you, to where when you're done for the day. I think it took me about 7 or 8 months, maybe a year, to kind of really get the sense of like salaried employment life,
professionalism, all that shit that comes with it.
Yeah.
The schedule that comes along with it.
Yep. I can only email somebody so ever many times because I'm going after new business for my job, and there's highs and lows going through that, but it's also just understanding that if you can just do something over and over and over again, and find new ways to do it, you're inevitably gonna get from one step to the other. It's not where you walk in, you're like, I gotta do a tee sheet, I gotta do a lesson, and then you're done with it. It's hunting for relationships, building connections, networking, understanding technology, since I had no background in technology other than how to use a laptop and a phone.
Yeah, it's got to be a deep dive to go into them.
Yeah. I mean, from when I started, I think there was 7,000 employees when I started, and now there's 10,000.
Holy hell. How many of those are in St. Louis? Do you have any idea?
St. Louis, I want to say it's about St. Louis and Illinois in our warehouse combined in Illinois.
Sure.
I want to say it's in the thousands, but
like 50%?
I don't know, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we have our warehouse in Illinois. We have a warehouse in Amsterdam. We have
you guys, global offices. That's right.
India and Singapore.
Couple thousand still. That's a shitload of people.
Yeah. So having that many people in a company that's that big, it's different from working, either at a country club that has a staff of 4 pros, or my last job working with AT&T, working with 30 people. Like there's 10,000 different people in a company.
That's crazy, dude. I've hopped around a bit now, and I still have yet to be with a big company. All my internships, internship 1 was a company of like 15 people. Internship 2 was 5 people. Internship 3 was a local real estate office. That was like probably 20 people. First job out of school was a startup. I was like employee 40. Second job was an office of like 15. And now my current job, I think there's 30 of us.
Yeah.
I've never been in a big corporate setting.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think, but the cool part is it's like you find, like, I think, like there's someone that that knows something different than you do, or had a different path than you do, or it's like they came from somewhere else, or they came from something similar. It is a big company, but our culture speaks volumes. I mean,
with how different you all are, you're still all like-minded in some sense if you're all in the same spot.
yeah, and there's so many different roles that people do, but everybody at Worldwide knows each other or their family members. It's like everybody wants to get a job in there. It's hard to get in, but once you're in, you never want to leave.
People always say that St. Louis is the smallest city in the world.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I hear someone works at Worldwide and Buddy A and Buddy B, I just thought they're buddies for 20 years, but they've just been with Worldwide together. And Buddy A worked with Buddy C, and Buddy C got Buddy B the job at Worldwide, and now they've all been there for 15 years. It's so crazy. Even it's a big company, but in comparison, I don't know how many employees does Enterprise have? Enterprise employee count 90,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, but I feel like not more often than not. But odds are that what do you do? I'm a Worldwide. Yeah. So many people I know work there. It's crazy, which is awesome that they're, how do you put that, investing so much in local hires. I think that's sweet. I respect the shit out of that.
Yeah. They do a better job of it now, especially with the training academy that they had. So now they hire, when the training academy started for me, they hired virtually everybody in my training class in St. Louis. Then after you're done with training, you went to a dedicated region.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Atlanta.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
That was fun.
Wow, lots happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a 16 weeks training academy, basically all immersive about every one of our 200 partners that we have, OEMs, our original, a Cisco or a Dell or HPE.
Sure.
And going through curriculum of basic training technology, aptitudes, or just different certifications to get right off the bat, and just to kind of understand who we align with the most, or who our best partner is. So we went through that, and then kind of a WWT, who's who in the zoo throughout the company, or who we needed to meet. We had the head of our global supply chain come in and talk to us. We had our CTO come in and talk to us. I think we met with the London office as well. But yeah, it was just 16 weeks of that, and then we did our own capstone. It was kind of like senior year of college. We had to do a capstone assignment at the end where we were researching a company, kind of going in depth of who the company was, what IT affected to their bottom line, or what IT goals and initiatives that they wanted to have accomplished, and kind of build out a proposal for that, and then present it to some of our executive team or sales leadership team at the end.
That's kind of a cool project.
Yeah.
How you related to senior year, actually applying something like that. That's sweet.
So, yeah, I did healthcare right at a hospital down in Atlanta. I wasn't supposed to go to Atlanta yet, or knew that I was going to Atlanta. It was just the one that I selected, and worked on that with a few. So there's a sales organization or sales cohort that does it for 16 weeks, and then there is a engineering portion of it that does it for a whole year until they're out, and then they turn to a CSE.
CSE.
Yep, that is
Client Success Engineer.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's consulting systems engineer.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're partnered with them, and then we graduate after 4 months, 16 weeks. Yeah, 4 months, and then they kind of still stay in the program for another 8 months, which is crazy. But they have to do 100 certifications, and get really deep in the weeds, and because they're the people that we bring in on our sales calls, or in for opportunities that build out the technology,
infrastructure and IT support. Yeah. All that shit.
They build that out, or they're the ones that can manage it or put it together, or understand it. They're an expert in it.
That's way over my head.
Yeah, same.
In a sentence, what does Worldwide do? I want to see what Google says, because I understand I understand what the company does, but I feel like it gets lost in lingo of what it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, to give you some background, give you a long-winded answer, that's probably not just one sentence. Worldwide has a massive portfolio, but when they first started, they did government contracts.
That's right. That's right. I do that.
And we have a great federal and SLED side, but that's what they started doing, and the way that they got their first break was with the Army, was just giving them computers and getting them all set up for them to utilize.
Really?
And that was how we landed. That was our big government contract that we first landed. And that's kind of what gave us the start that they needed to, because they were kind of struggling early on. But then after they got that contract, then it started to pick up and ramp up. And then they acquired, it used to be down right by, I think it was either Wheelhouse or Midwestern. There was Asynchrony Labs was down there.
Wow, it's only from 1990.
It's in between Midwestern and Wheelhouse. It was it was attached to the Wheelhouse building.
Yeah.
It's called Asynchrony.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think that was in 2010.
Nice looking office building.
Yeah.
You always walk by the front door.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was in 2010 when they acquired them. And then we've just had exponential growth year after year. Last year was an amazing year. I mean, I think we had like 23% growth in our GS organization. And
what does GS mean?
Global Enterprise Sales.
Okay.
So the organization that I fall under.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a crazy growth year last year. This year was, it's hard to top last year, but I mean, we're growing in the right ways. We had an amazing year with NVIDIA. Jen Singh, the CEO of NVIDIA, really good friends with Jim Kavanaugh. He came and spoke at our Cabo event that was in November.
That's sweet.
For the tournament that we do. And my goal this year is to be able to go to that. And the way to get to that is you have 2 customers that you invite to it, and you're able to go with them, play golf, go to the leadership executive.
Whoa,
meetings.
it's a golf tournament in Cabo?
Yeah, it's the one that we sponsor. So
whoa.
It's on the PGA Tour as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is this?
It's the PGA. It's the Worldwide Technology Tournament. I think that's what it's called.
I had no idea. Holy shit. Yep. PGA Tour in Mexico. I had no idea. How long has that been a thing? 2007. Wow. That was the first PGA Tour event to take place in Mexico. Wow, that is so up your alley. Yep. Holy shit.
Yep. And
everything just came full circle with everything I've talked to you about. Wow. Okay, good for you. Keep going.
Yeah, so last year the tournament was at, the course, I think you probably have seen it, but there's a massive cave bunker in the middle of the fairway. It's not it's on the beach in Cabo. That's where it used to be. Now it's somewhere else in Cabo. But yeah, it's the goal of mine to be able to get there, because I joined the team that I'm on in April of last year. So I had from April to November to land a new client.
That's a lot,
and then to get them to be able to agree to go to Cabo, which it's not the easiest thing, but I know I'll be able to do it for next year.
Good.
Give them the time.
Yeah.
But so my sales role is unique. It's not the same as GES. It's not the same as our client execs that, they have a list of accounts. They have some accounts that are active, some that they want to go after their white space. Ours are fully white space.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
So people that we've either never talked to or business has fallen off. We don't have any paper. We don't have an MSA.
Business, yep.
Yeah, like MSA is a multi-service agreement just to be able to sell technology, sell service capabilities, bring in external resources, and inject them into the company for a project base. So that's our job. And last year, we landed 18 MSAs, so 18 new companies.
Damn.
And once we land them, then we start an initial deal, get that ready to go. Once we close that deal, then we hand that off to an account manager within region, and that frees us up to keep going after new accounts. So we're kind of like the funnel, the middleman between full-time hunters and account managers that are farmers. So we're giving account managers, or we're growing new business. Like we grew enough business in Michigan to be able to put a resource there to be an account manager, which it takes a lot, though.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
To get that investment, or to, say you find an account that maybe gives you $300K a year in business, not worth it to get an account manager there.
Right.
Because they might give you $300K in business, but you're only going to get
all the overhead that comes with it.
You're going to get 10% of that. So that's not enough to make.
Yeah.
So that's what I do for Worldwide now.
I've never, because again, how often you talk to people there, you just kind of pick up on what it does, and obviously being a St. Louis company, et cetera. Learning a lot right here. The company has an annual revenue of $20 billion, 19th largest private company in the U.S., and the biggest black-owned company in the U.S. Could have guessed that. Wouldn't have known that. What else did I just see?
Dave Stewart is one of the richest.
Yep. Jim Kavanaugh. They're the soccer team, aren't they? Kavanaugh?
Pretty big investors, yeah.
I think part of the Blues.
I don't know if they own part of the Blues, but I would imagine they do. I mean, we do a lot of sponsorship deals with Blues.
I know the Blues ownership is like 15 or 20 guys. It opened its first warehouse in 96 and operates more than 20 facilities with 2 million square feet of warehousing. That's nuts. I've never done. This is just the Wikipedia page, but holy shit.
Yeah.
Golf. Here we go. It has its own thing on golf. Worldwide Technology hosts the championship in the golf tournament, the PGA Tour, 2007. El Cordonal golf course and the Diamante Cabo San Lucas Resort. Damn. Synchrony. That's what you were just talking about in 2015. That's the one downtown.
Yeah, that was the one downtown. I don't think it's there anymore, but that's who we acquired in 2010, and then we are working on one right now.
Wow. Do they still sponsor that raceway? Is it still Worldwide Raceway?
Yep.
I always wanted to go to that.
It's fun. I went last year.
Well, did you?
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like a fucking blast. You go to the NASCAR race or the truck race?
No, it was I think it wasn't Formula One, but it was IndyCar racing.
Yeah. I went to the Indy 500 2 years ago, I think. It was insane. It was so insane. I've never.
Where's Indy 500?
What's that?
Where is that?
Indianapolis.
God, that was a great question.
It's in Indy, downtown Indy. That was the first racing event I'd ever been to. Never. When I was a kid, we went to what do you call it? The trials the days before.
Yeah, the time trials.
Yeah, for placement seating, whatever that is.
How you sit in the order of cars. Yeah.
Only got to do the trials beforehand, and it was raining, so it was whatever. But then we went to the Indy 500. I think this was 2022. Dude, I fucked up so bad. Oh, I fucked up so bad. It was so obviously it's not a white trash bash, but basically.
Did you wear jorts?
Yep, and a cutoff. And we had bleacher seats.
And you got fried by the sun.
Yep, didn't wear any sunscreen for the entirety of the fucking 7 hours. We're 80% sure I have some sort of skin poisoning up here. And there's still a tan line, and we put what was that shit called?
Zinc on you to get that to go away.
Oh no. What did we put on it? Tegaderm, this patch and gel.
Really?
To try and heal it. And I guess that was the biggest no we ever could have done. Because I was peeling already. I couldn't wear a shirt for a week. My skin was bubbling. It was, oh god, dude, it was awful. But anyway, then we put these patches on. And then we asked nurses, no, you need to let it breathe. Don't put any shit on it. So we took them off, but it already adhered to my skin. And so there's a scar on my skin from where the patch ripped off fresh skin. So there wasn't sun scarring. There was a clear 90-degree line of where skin was ripped off from this fucking patch. Yeah, lesson learned. And then the whole following summer, at the lake, the pool, I literally had to wear swim shirts. If I was out at the lake, I could be in the water for 30 minutes at a time because I was so fucking sensitive. It was awful, bro. It was so awful. I had to work from home. I already do work from home a lot, but I had to work from home for 10 days straight because I couldn't wear a shirt.
Doesn't that suck?
Dude, it was awful. Whether I was in pain or from blisters reforming, it would pop under my shirt.
Yeah.
It was, sorry for everyone listening, but I'm sure you've probably seen pictures of it if you're listening to this. It was so, dude, it was awful. Wear sunscreen, if anything.
Sunscreen's good for you.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so I'm looking at your LinkedIn right now. So, client development support rep. Is that where you started in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's when I started the program, and then I was a client development rep. Synonymous kind of name, but that was the client development support rep was the role title for the training program.
Okay.
And then when I was a client development representative, that's when I was in Atlanta.
Okay. And then senior client development rep, associate client manager. Congratulations. 1 month ago.
Yep.
New to this year?
Yeah, so they told me it was going to happen probably around August or August or September, but not effective until January 2nd, but was assuming that role and doing everything for those responsibilities.
All the adjustments that come with it for you and whoever's backfilling, et cetera.
Yep. So, I was a client development rep for almost 3 years, and then finally moved to ACM January 2nd, 2025.
And back to how you mentioned adjusting to the professional world, the corporate world. What did you struggle with in that? I think that's a struggle for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I'd worked at an hour, like before this, I'd never worked a salary job or anything like that. So, I mean, it's not that I'm like waking up at 11 a.m. and, working.
Right. Blowing drill and playing Xbox all day.
Yeah, it's not an hour. And I have the luxury to work from home. I do go to the office 2 to 3 times a week. More when it's warmer out, not when it's colder out. But, I mean, I get a ton of work done when I'm at home, and I can knock it all out. But for prospecting's sake, you can only email, a prospect.
Yep.
But it's really like I've gotten emails back from people that is like, you've sent me an email on a Wednesday with relevant information that relates to my industry or my company or my organization for, like I did it with this guy for maybe 6 weeks, and, finally gave me a meeting. But just staying relevant, being active about it, understanding that it might not be the right time when you send them that first email, but if you send them that 10th email or 11th email, then it'll be that right time. So I think adjusting to maybe not getting a quick response or thinking that, they don't want to work with us or that my information isn't relevant or what have you. It's kind of just staying to your plan, knowing that it's going to work or that it's successful or that you can change it, but know that when you do change it, you might not receive results immediately, but you might receive them faster than what you were doing before.
Yeah.
But that was tough. And also just like the timing of it. Like the night before, I like to plan out what I'm going to do the next day.
That's smart.
And I'll just or at the end of my day, I'll write a few notes down just so that I have it ready to go for the morning. So I'm not waking up, what do I need to do today? Address those things that I need to do today, start writing it down in the morning, and then start tackling it. I do love automated messaging or our Salesforce. I can send emails or
that stuff's so huge.
I can queue them to send.
Yeah.
And that's what I do for a few of my customers is I'll have them, or a few of my prospects aren't my customers yet, but they will be in the future. But just have emails ready to go, and then I can go in and edit them if something relevant pops up or if there's something in the market that would be of interest to them.
Keep them top of mind kind of a thing.
Yep. And that's nice with Salesforce, and also Salesforce has a tool that I can go in a report and I can see if I sent an email to 50 people, I can see who read it. I can see how many times they opened it. And it's kind of creepy on the back end that I can see that, and then if I see that they open it, I'm like, okay, they opened it one time. Probably not going to send them a follow-up right now or right away, but I had this guy open it up 15 times, and it might not be he opened it 15 times, but that he opened it, forwarded it.
Yep.
Then those people opened it.
Yep.
But when you get that type of data back, then you kind of know you're getting the right messaging in, or they're all laughing at your email. This guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Look what this dipshit wrote.
Yeah. I sent one for this campaign that we're running that was a short, brief campaign, and this guy, he's like, what is this, an AI blast? And then I kind of went back and forth with him. And didn't treat it as he was blowing me off, but it was just funny, that response. And I went back and forth with him, and I was like, this is just more for an intro, just to kind of get to know you. And his response was if you really want to get to know us, know that our main priority is our customers.
Right.
And then he's like, see you next year. I was like, all right, great conversation.
Good shit, man. Thank you.
Great conversation.
That's, we have that, so we use HubSpot, just another CRM. And there's some, I don't know if it's a HubSpot thing or if it's some other add-in they have through HubSpot, but we have that exact thing where if I go to Brems and Associates and I see that I can see that Dylan opened up my email 15 times.
Yeah.
And automated tasks, we have sequences. So I'll call you today, and if I enroll you in the sequence in 3 days, I already have the email drafted. It throws in.
I'll go again.
Yeah, your apartments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then 4 days from then, it has already something that, hey, you're calling so and so today. Here's what you did last. And then I can see if they've opened it, if they haven't read anything. So it's so helpful. It is unbelievably helpful. And then if I know I'm coming to the end of that sequence, because it's only 7 or 8 steps, but I see they opened it 20 times, then I have like a note, and I put a note in there, hey, restart this in a month, because they're clearly interested in something. Yeah. So definitely keep on moving. And it's also because that's the whole thing with like what you're getting into, like client management and like relationship building. If business was won on the first touch, the first call, the first email, whatever, we'd all be fucking billionaires. Yeah. Like I'm working on something right now I had to address something with it today, and the first email was from September, it was like September 15th or September 16th or some shit like that. And the guy didn't respond to me until November. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't get all the documents and financials and shit until first week of January. But that's 4 months of just waiting for shit. Yeah. But it was because I kept on pinging him, kept on digging him. Hey, we're still interested. Hey, we're still interested. I don't want to sell you anything. Not looking to bother you. Just seeing if we could help you out. And he's like, yeah, actually, we're looking to do this. Yep. But if you fucking call it quits on the first one, nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the project that I was working on all last year was me going after. So GM was one of our big accounts that I worked on last year, and GM has over 180 third parties that work on their electric manufacturing. They work within their electric car manufacturing factories.
Sure, yeah.
That's a fucking mouthful. So they have 150 of them. They're all over the world. So I had to go and try to take business away from one of our other one of Worldwide's competitors, so that we could be their Cisco facilitator, so that we could get Cisco in, because they needed new switches for all their factories.
Sure.
And they had to use this specific switch.
God, that's crazy.
And so I sent an email out to 150 of their procurement officers, as well as the factory owners, and I didn't get a single response from the first 150.
God, I love that, dude.
We basically got the sponsorship from GM to do this, and Cisco, and I didn't get a single response back. And that was I was leading that project.
Damn.
And so that's what when I came back from Atlanta, that's the new team that I joined. And I was blessed to be able to be a part of that team. And I had an amazing regional manager that gave me the confidence, number one, to do it, but also was there with me when I fell, or hey, you might not get a response here, but they actually need this stuff, and they will respond. And so then I sent another one, and then I got one response. I sent another one, maybe got 2 or 3 responses. By the end of a year, we only had 5% or 10% market share of all 150. By the end of the year, I got 90% market share.
Damn.
And it took it was crazy, because
took a year.
Not me sending an email wasn't the hardest part. I think the hardest part is waiting. But the second hardest part was then getting all their documentation, finalizing it, uploading it, getting their NDA signed, getting their credit application in place, getting them ready to be put into our system, them putting our information to the system. And all that heavy lifting was done between me, my internal sales rep, my engineering team, just to get them ready to go, just to order. Mm-hmm. And it
God.
It was every week. Some week I would have 10 of. And so I'm going to say this now, they're called service integrators as their third party. So I would have 10 SIs email me back. We go back and forth, and they don't want to share credit information with me. They don't know who I am.
Right, yeah.
And
get out of here, bozo.
It's pulling teeth if they're private. But if they're public, so much easier. But there's not that many public ones, because they're third party. They're not that big, so they're all private. But yeah, I think it was awesome to see at the end. During, I was we got 2 this week, we got 3 this week. But in the grand scheme of things, to go from I think it was 5-10% to 90% to steal all that business away from one of our competitors. I mean, that was a great pat on the back, but it actually showed, it proved to me that, okay, I can make it in this industry.
Yeah.
I had no background in technology. I have background in relationship building. I have background in, understanding if someone has a need, how to solve it with a golf swing. Mm-hmm. That was my background. But it was fun. It was stressful. It was grueling, but I wouldn't trade that experience,
Right, absolutely.
And that got me ready to, what I do now.
Exactly.
Like I email people on a daily basis of these, big companies that might not know who Worldwide is or might know who Worldwide is, and they have another partner. And like my verbiage is like, I never want to go in there and be a disruptor immediately. I would like to come in and be additive to whatever they have. If they have, a partner already that's doing the security, or they have a partner that's already doing their, web hosting or browsing or data collection, or they're working on their data center, or they're trying to figure out how to move to the cloud or get stuff off the cloud, whatever their partner is already, I'd like to add a layer to that, a layer of expertise, a layer of consulting, to where we can get in and bring the right people in and have a conversation of, okay, this is where you are with who you have now, that this is where we can move you to, get you to, or show you that, this is a better option, or what you have now is great. Let's add something else. Let's add something new into it to where it makes it even better.
Not to be a replacement, but like a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, because I mean, at the
It's
end,
another tool in the shed. Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's always going to be a new technology, but you don't want to be the customer that tries the latest and greatest, and 50% of it actually is good, or 30% of it is actually good, and the other 70% you're like, why did I spend X amount of dollars on this when I could have saved that? And that's kind of where we come in with more of the additive layer, more of the support, or just being unbiased, because we have a multi-billion-dollar lab to test it.
Right. You guys have the track record already. What do you think in all these steps, not steps, yeah, I guess so, climbing this ladder that you have the past three some odd years, what do you think is helping you succeed in all that?
I think it's because I'm crazy.
That's fair.
I mean, like, I compare a lot of things, and for those that are going to listen to this, I compare a lot of things to golf, because golf is so related to life and business and what have you, and I'm addicted to golf, so I will relate things to it. So if you golf, it'll make more sense than maybe if you don't. And if you don't, go out there and play some golf, and you might understand a little bit better. But I mean, climbing the ladder, it's just like a pursuit to success, pursuit to, learning something new, or, attaining a score that you've never had before. And you're not going to, you might get it by chance, but chasing that by chance and not changing anything. Like you said, if you get a response on the first thing, you don't really learn anything.
Yeah.
You just kind of get a first response.
Yeah. If you shoot an 18, you'll probably never play golf again.
Yeah. If you get a hole in one on every single hole. Yep. I'm Joe Biden. I'm a 6 handicap.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's just like, I think what pushes me to climb this corporate ladder is, one, to make a little bit more money, two, to see that I am progressing, not only like in my job, but that I'm learning new things, and I'm able to say like, hey, I understand how to do this, and I can coach somebody else on how to get there faster now that I have done it, or just to succeed. And it's
in positions like that, with a company like that, with how high level and like, it's complicated. It's complicated shit. Not just anyone can go and start up a Worldwide. And that's, like, you have to, if you're not learning and not continuing your education, like, and your overall development with everything, if you stop swimming, you're dead in the water. Like, you're going to be toast by everybody. Yeah. Whether it's your colleagues or the competition, doesn't really matter. They're going to go fly right by you. Yep. There's so much to keep up with.
There's a ton to keep up with, but it's not that, like, you need to know every latest and greatest piece of technology. Because if you do that, you're gonna drown in information, and you're not gonna be, the voice that your customer needs if you're just trying to tell them about every single latest and greatest thing. It's really just like getting to know them and understanding who they are, and that's, we have the luxury to be able to, like, I can go and walk into my CT, like the Chief Technology Officer Worldwide, go walk into his office and like pick his brain about things, or our head of supply chain, and get their expertise. And being able to talk to those guys, they'll tell you that they never want to stop learning, but they're not all hyping up the latest and greatest technology. They might know about it or read about it, but that's not like their focus. Their focus is the customers. Their focus is prolonging the relationship of who they're, doing business with today. And like Worldwide does business with a lot of Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies. And it's, it's not because we were amazing back then. It's more because of our culture and the relationships that we built and how we come to bat. Like we don't show up to swing and miss. We want to make sure that we have all of the people. Like I saw, to give you some, like shed some light on it, I saw the meeting that one of my regional managers planned for General Motors. Like he brought in 15 people from different areas of the business, the best experts in their field, to show up to just, and it was kind of like an intro meeting. Like we just started that relationship, and to see the work and the planning and the thought that they put into it, just so we have the right people on the bus when we show up.
Yeah.
And that's how we win the business. It's not, we don't create technology. We're not a technology company. We resell technology from our 200 partners.
Right.
But the thing that
providers, consultants. Yeah.
But the cool thing that we do is we have a lab. It's called the ATC, our Advanced Technology Center, and we can test different pieces of technology and give our customers a report on what would perform the best in their environment and give them an unbiased opinion.
Based on what they already have in-house.
Yeah, based upon the data that
Holy
we get
shit,
out of the lab.
Yeah.
And I think that's great because it's not like Worldwide has its own, trademark technology.
Right.
We're the unbiased consultant. And like, say a company loves Cisco, and let's say another VAR comes in and they want to displace Cisco, and the company was like, we'll test them together and we'll give them the data, and they'll think that Cisco's going to win, and it's the other VAR, and then and we'll give them the unbiased opinion. We're not going to say, oh shit, Cisco lost here. Like we have to change this. Like
you want what's best for them, as it should be.
What's best for them, and
wow, that makes your life that makes your life easy.
And I like working for a company like that.
Yeah.
We don't have a technology to sell, so that gives us the way to be unbiased, as it should be.
Yeah, as it should be.
I mean, because in business, some people would like to just sell their product, and their product's the best, and everybody else's is.
There's a lot of bias, and there's easy to have bias.
Yeah,
it's natural. Ruins a lot of things, but
yeah,
it's totally natural.
It's there. Good
for you, man. That's so crazy. I interviewed with him. I don't remember when. It was probably COVID. When I was working at the farm, it wasn't even an interview. I just talked to somebody. Probably talked to one of you. Someone's buddy's son. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, shoot me over your resume." And it wasn't like I was gunning for a job or anything, but it was in COVID after I lost my job and I was working at the farm. So I was just tossing out resumes left and right. But I remember on the phone call with the guy, he was like, "I don't mean to put you down, but tell me what you think we do."
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. And he started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to unless you know what we do. You have no clue what we do."
Yeah. I mean, we do so much. Our portfolio is if you come in as a new employee and say you don't have a tech background, you come in, we do so many things, but it's dependent on what customer.
Something I always thought was sweet was how much you guys promote internally.
Yeah, there's a lot. We do a lot of organic growth.
Because a lot of people, top dogs, started from not the bottom, but
or just started there.
Yeah,
the guy that
they're all 20, 30-year dogs.
Yeah, one of the guys on my team, he's been at Worldwide for 26 years. So almost as long as the company's been around.
Good God.
Yeah.
1990, 20. Yeah. Yep. Good Lord.
I think we're 34 years old.
Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, he's been here for 25 years, and the stories that he tells me about what it was like in the early days, which I won't talk about.
Yeah, sure. A lot of golf.
Well, yeah, a lot of different things. But yeah, it's cool to hear those stories and see one, where the company is at today, and two, why they're still here today.
That's the bigger part of it. Yeah,
because
staying relevant.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say in the grand scheme of things, everybody talks about how great the culture is. And
Sure.
and it is that great. It's not like I drink the Kool-Aid or whatever. Like I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to help you. Everybody wants you to succeed. If you don't know something, someone can help you figure it out, find it, or we have an expert in that field that we can bring in and you can, bring into your customer. It's like everything is set up for your success, and I'm sure there's jockeying for, being the best client manager, what have you. But at the end of the day, we're all kind of in it for each other because we are a private company, and the work that we put in gives right back to us as employees. But the culture is something that is a great selling point, because just getting somebody that doesn't know who Worldwide is into the table and showing them who we are and addressing those questions of like, you guys are a private organization. You don't sell technology, but you are, the number one partner for X, Y, and Z, one of the top selling equipment manufacturers. That's the beauty of it, is we're great partners with them because of, one, our culture, two, how we come to bat, and three, our work ethic and our expertise and what we've been doing, because we've been doing it for a long time.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to find, especially like in this day and age. I feel like there's so many startups or organizations that, they might start up as a great culture and then they get bought out by somebody else and it just turns
goes down the shitter. Yeah.
And the culture has not changed. It's only gotten better and better.
Right. I think that's something, not specific, but I think I think it's cool. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I really respect it when companies stay private, and I think that's, one, really good, and two, I applaud it because my dad's been at Ed Jones forever, and they're private, and they're one of the bigger private companies as well. And I always thought that was so crazy.
Yeah.
Because all you ever hear about is so-and-so going public, everyone getting bought out. But to actually stay private, and then, two, to get that big and stay private, that's crazy. Because everyone always needs the money at some point. That's why you go public. That's why you get bought out. You need more. You need more cash. That's so. Because it makes perfect sense why to keep the culture, and that's what everyone looks for. It's so hard to find that.
And there's so many people that have been there for over 20 years.
And everyone that I know you, like you've been there 3 years. I'm sure you'll probably be there for a while. I know a handful of people that was first job out of school, second job out of school, whatever. And whenever I talk to them about it, it doesn't sound like they're shopping around or leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which is sweet. And it also sounds like they respect you guys as employees.
Yeah.
That's, like, I hear it a lot, and not that I hear that my friends are being disrespected at work.
Yeah.
But, like, some of the things that are put upon them, and whether that's, I don't want to say workload, but expectations or
like the hierarchy is more apparent. In other organizations
politics, exactly, or they're taking a brute force of something they have no part of, or going into the office 5 days a week when you live 50 minutes away. Yeah. It's just like, what do you expect? Well, you need babysitters now? Yeah. What's going on here? We're all adults. We can take care. Like you said, I get my shit done at home. If you're an adult, if you're a responsible adult, which you should be, you can probably take care of your shit at home. Yeah. And I've come to find that all of my friends are able to do the same. I mean, I don't think my friends are pieces of shit.
And it's like, what you have to do to get your work done, or whatever it is. And like, if you're doing something that isn't getting your work done, it's on you. It's like, and if you continually do that, then you're not going to progress. And then it will be apparent to your organization. You'll probably get, reprimanded for it or whatever.
Yeah, right. You'll hear about it.
And but that's like just being an adult.
Go back to the golf thing. So give me, I want to hear how you relate golf to the professional world. Like, give me an analogy, an example of why you say it's they're parallels.
It's like, I can relate it. So like, say you're having a bad round of golf. Like, how do you react? What are you saying? What are your mannerisms? How do you carry yourself?
The micro of it.
Yeah, like those little things. Or if you go play golf, are you, shaving a stroke off here or there, like cutting a corner? It's the same. It's like,
I like that, cutting a corner. Yeah.
And if you're doing those,
not taking the drop when you should have.
yeah, if you're doing those things in golf, like, what are you doing in business? Are you having conversations on the, like, say you're partner with one of your technology partners, are you having conversations on the side to get another partner in there and ruin the relationship with the partner that you already have? And it's the same thing. It's like you can go play with a guy, and I'm pretty good at paying attention to other people's scores, and like I played in high school golf, and I'll just be honest, I had a round where I definitely did not get a 6 on a hole. I definitely got an 8, and the guy I played with called me out on it. I was like, okay, you're right. I definitely got an 8. But
on
like
that one.
But like things like that, it's just like if you're gonna cheat in a game that you're not getting paid to play,
that you're paying to play.
Yeah, that you're paying to play. It's like, what is your character?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like if I shoot a 97, I'm pissed about shooting a 97, but I know I shot a 97.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's just silly. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it is, whenever I play golf with people that I've never played golf with before, and I see them struggle or see them play really good, or it's just kind of like, where are they at in the spectrum of, are they even kill? Are they, over the moon? Or like, I've seen people play where they'll have a bad hole and they'll be like just motherfucking everything that happens, and then they'll have a good hole and then everything's fine in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or say they'll have,
that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, just to like that fluctuation and that
highs of the highs, lows of the lows.
And like, if you have that in life, like what's your midline? Or it's like you see people
that's a rock and
compound mistakes over and over. Like, I mean, and I am a victim of this too, or not a victim, but I've done it too. Like where I could put myself in a hard spot and say I have to like carry over water to get to the green, or it's like next best option is to hit it back in the fairway, have a better shot.
Smart play, yeah.
Now I am better about it, but before I would, fuck it, I'm hitting it over water. Mm-hmm. Damn, I just stuck it right into the water. Now it takes 2 strokes, and so it's just like golf makes you really kind of dissect your shots and understand like what you're good at, what you're not good at.
To actually think about what you're going to do.
Think about what you're doing, like how it relates to business. It's 1, the character of it, and 2, if you make a mistake, own up for it. Hit your shot into the fairway, email them back and say, hey, I fucked up here.
Yep.
I wanted to let you know. And I've done that. I screwed up like a timeline of one of the orders, and I called the guy and I was like, hey, I apologize. I screwed this up. I put you in the system wrong. We didn't have you in this order sheet like correctly. I'll rectify it. We'll be able to give you, a % off of this next order. If I never did that, then 1, they don't know that their order's not coming in on time, and 2, they're going to be losing money because they don't have it in place.
And it fucks up a lot down the line.
Yeah, and it just screws. It's just little things. I mean, it's character, but it's kind of just like people-to-people relationship 101. It's just like, if you screw up, just let them know. Fucked up. If you let them know that you messed up and you're taking accountability for it, they're going to be less mad than them finding out about your mess up without you telling them.
Right. I like that. I also like the preparation. Like, if you never practice golf, you can't expect yourself to be good out there. And if you're not preparing every day, what are you expecting?
Yep. And golf is like business. I mean, it's a matter of reps.
Yeah,
for
sure.
How many calls? I don't have to call a lot of people. It's more like email generation, contact generation, networking at events, meeting people face to face. But those reps are invaluable to be able to talk to people, or be able to talk to our partners, and just like, have them know who you are, gives you kind of like an edge, or just gives you like a point where whenever something comes up, they're like, oh, I know Dylan has this account and he's working on it right now. I have an open opportunity that maybe we can partner on. Just those little things. And the same thing goes for golf. If you're, preparing to hit a chip shot, or if you're practicing out of the bunker, when you land in the bunker, you're not like, well, what the fuck do I need to do? Or like, am I going to duff it? Like, no, I've hit out of a bunker, practiced 100 times. Like, this is normal. Like, I like hitting out of bunkers. It's not hard.
Really?
A bunker shot, I think a lot of people make it harder than it seems, or they think they need to swing harder because it's sand. But Like if I'm about to give a bunker lesson right now.
Hey, fuck it, yeah. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to do is go to a place that has a bunker to practice out of. Put a line, like a 5 foot wide line. Sorry, like 5 feet long, just a straight line, and put a golf ball, one golf ball length in front of that line, and put like 5 golf balls out there, and hit the line. And hit the line. Hit the line. You don't need to overswing. All you want to do is get the leading edge of your golf club to hit the sand, pick up a little sand, picks up the ball, and then finish high. That's all it is.
That's good to know.
It's good to know. And like on short-sided bunker shots, you want to take a little bit more sand, so it's slowing the club down, pushing up more sand with the ball so that the ball lands softer. If you have a long bunker shot, grip a little bit up on the club, still hit 2 inches behind. But that's a sand shot. It's not like hitting out of water. It's not impossible.
People are overthinking it.
Yeah, people are overthinking it.
Yeah.
And like, but I think I texted you this last year. I related to like I legitimately forgot how to hit a golf ball off a tee with my driver. And some of our friends that will listen to this, I know like Jack and Ryan will know, like, I did not hit a driver I broke 4 drivers in the span of a year and a half. Four driver bases because I was mishitting the ball so bad and still swinging as hard as I do that I was literally concave the face.
Good Lord.
I broke a Sim 2. I broke 3 stealths, and 2 stealths and 1 stealth 2. So I broke 4 driver heads in the span of like a year and a half.
Good God.
And I think I texted you, I was like, me hitting a golf ball now is like you gave me a book and you told me to read it, and I literally can't read English.
I don't know what these words are.
Yeah, like that.
What happened?
That is how I felt.
Say this again. You couldn't figure out how to hit a ball off a tee with your driver.
Yeah, like I could hit the ball, but it would go like 10 feet in the air, 5 feet in the air, and it would just go straight down to the left. Like
that's the worst
I couldn't get it to go further than 150 yards straight.
That is the worst feeling.
Insane feeling. And like reasons why is because I hurt my shoulder fucking playing.
That's right.
Men's softball. I like ran and dove for a ball and kind of jarred my shoulder. Thought I tore my labrum. Did not tear my labrum.
Oh, that's right. You did all that mobility stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But it forced me to have a golf swing to where I wasn't bringing my arm all the way up. So I was pinched when I was coming down. So when I was coming down, my plane was not like swinging up through the ball like you should with a driver. Mm-hmm. It was me coming down with a closed face and basically just hooding it every time, but I couldn't feel it because I would go and hit my irons pure. Because that's how you want to come down with your iron. You want to come down through the ball with an iron. And, like, I would hit one good drive out of, like, every 20. So it would take me 2 rounds to hit a good drive. So I just wouldn't hit my driver. I'd hit my 3-wood.
That would be so aggravating.
So aggravating.
Especially how I know you can golf. That would be unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah. But it took me forever, and then who was it? It was someone I was playing with. I can't remember who it was, but I had them take a video, and I was like looking at it. I was like, I'm not getting to the top of my swing at all. And after doing all that mobility stuff and like coming out of that, I mean, I was healed fully from the swelling and just from my shoulder finally feeling like okay to do anything, because like I wasn't benching, I wasn't doing like overhead press heavy or anything because I really couldn't. One, because I was scared that I would do something to it, but 2, I lacked the mobility to kind of get back to that swing. But yeah, it was so frustrating. But finally, like last year around, early golf season, I was able to get to that point to where I was bringing my arm all the way to the top of my swing. And like now, I wasn't able to bring my arm up to here, like without pain or discomfort for a while. So I
remember you saying you couldn't throw a baseball more than 10 yards.
Yeah. I tried to throw a golf ball, and I legitimately thought I threw my arm out.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm 28 years old.
Yeah, we shouldn't have these problems.
Like, I want to be able to throw a baseball with my kids one day. So.
Yeah, seriously.
But, yeah, just that stuff was so frustrating because, like, for me, I can play really good golf. I can hit the ball far. I have never had a problem of swinging. And so one where I really was frustrated was like I was hitting irons that I used to hit maybe 30 yards, 40 yards further. I was hitting them so high because I was coming down so steep. And that's where I finally started to understand like what I was doing wrong. And like I would hit my 6-iron and it would like go as far as my 9. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I just started watching myself in a mirror and just feeling my swing and feeling my shoulder getting all the way to the top, and it just took it took months to finally correct, and then I haven't broken a driver since then.
Good. Baby steps.
The beauty of it, though, is if you do break a driver and you have warranty, they will send you the next latest model.
No shit.
So don't go and break your driver.
So let's say from a Rogue to a Rogue 2.
Don't go break your driver because, I don't know, it might not.
Right.
But yeah, so now I have the QI10. It's great. I was playing with Cole Miller.
Oh, that's sick.
And some people over at Gateway, and I hit a 380-yard drive this year.
God damn.
And Cole was like 360, 340. There's no
You guys are piping these things.
wind, and I hit my drive, and like it sounded different. Like,
really?
I've never hit a drive like that before in my life. Like, and when I hit it, it was insane. And it was on, there's a long-ass par. It's like a 600-yard par 5 at Gateway National. But I smoked it.
Good God.
And my second shot, right in the woods.
But, that's golf, baby.
But that's golf. But, like, just stuff like that. But being able to swing a driver again, being able to feel normal of the golf ball. But, like, I still go into stents where even now I'll do that again. But now I know how to fix it. But it kind of like I went to the range one day and literally was hitting drives like 30 yards just to practice, like hitting that slow, just feeling the face, feeling my path. And it's kind of like what I had to do with this job is like go back to the basics.
Yep.
Go and understand, like.
Go back and reassess.
Yeah, reassess. And it's like know the basics. Don't forget them. Remember like what got you to this point and don't forget those little things. And it's like you don't look like an idiot going to the range, hitting balls 20 yards. Like,
right.
Your work is your work. Your golf game is your golf game. No one can play golf for you.
Right.
No one can do your job for you. And if they are doing your job for you, then you probably are fired.
Yeah, for real. That's good. I like that, though, because that's what you have to go back and look at things and see what you're doing. Are you doing anything wrong? Can you do anything better? And that's what, when I golf, I do at I've taken a few lessons from the pro at Golf Galaxy. And first when I went in there, I just asked him, I was like, I'm going to swing the club, like, erase everything. Start me from scratch.
It's hard.
It's hard to do. But the first 2 lessons, I was like, all we did was just, like, fundamentals, the fundamentals of what your golf swing should be. And there's so many times, or like if I'm at the range, if I'm playing, and it goes to shit. It often does. But, like, he gave me, like, these 4 steps, these 5 steps. He was like, whenever shit starts to go array, just, like, break it down one by one. Are you doing this right? You're doing the next step right. You're doing the next step right. You're doing the next step right. If you're fucking up one step, don't go to the next step. Yep. And I think about that, actually, quite frequently.
And, like, I love golf because, you know, not only you can see, like, people's character in it, or you get to meet so many different people playing golf that you wouldn't meet. But also it's like whenever I'm with my friends and I can help them and I see the light bulb moment of, oh, I never really thought of it like that, like doing things different ways, and just showing them, one simple thing that I can see. I mean, I've hit so many, like I've had so many reps over a golf ball, or I've had so many reps listening to a golf ball to where I know where a ball's going by the sound of it.
I mean, yeah, if you've played that much, that would make sense. Yeah, I feel that.
Or just like if they're set up a certain way and I can see how they're set up, like I know where that golf ball's going. And I'm the best with my dad because I know his misses and his bad shots and his good shots. And I know what's about to happen before it happens. And then it happens. And I'm like, I knew that was going to happen.
Yep, sure as shit.
I wish I was better at it with myself because I'll line up and be like, all right, I'm perfectly in line. And then I'm like 4 feet right, bounce it off the side of the green into a pond. And I'm like, shit. But that's just, golf is a game of not inches, but like millimeter adjustments. And it's so, like, your margin for error is so small, but that's why like Bryson and Brooks, they play golf aggressively, but with the biggest margin of error that they can have. So if they have like a fairway that is a dog leg left, they aim at a point where if they miss right, they're still okay, and if they miss left, they're still fine, but they can go at it aggressively.
They can jump it if it goes perfectly.
But also, to put it in perspective, like, their miss is here.
Right.
Whereas, like, an average golfer's miss is, like, here.
Yeah, from 100 yards to 10 yards.
Yeah. And even Bryson, he did a video about, like, playing at a municipal course. And it's, like, playing a municipal course, he says it's
I saw that.
so much harder than playing, on a PGA Tour level course, which is not, like, a crazy thing to think about. But hearing it out of his mouth is, it's interesting to hear that. Like, we have to battle so many different conditions on a municipal course. Like, we have cart paths to deal with, and in the PGA they do, for the most part, have cart paths to deal with on some courses, but a majority of them they really don't. They're all like walking courses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was crazy when he said that. I love watching his Break 50 videos with the people that he goes out with.
Those are two of those things. It was probably a year or two ago. I don't know how old the video is, but I saw a clip from the video probably last year of him. He was one of the young YouTube golf kids. I don't know if it was Good or one of the other ones, but one of those kids. And he asked him if he's ever shot like a 50 or broken 60 or something. He's like, no, never. He's like, what do you shoot from the reds? And he's like, I've fucking never shot from the reds. He's like, well, you're never going to break 60 or break 50. I don't remember what it was. It was probably 50.
Yeah.
He's like, you're never going to do it.
I think it's probably 60.
And shoot in the 50s.
Yeah.
He's like, you're never going to do it if you can't do it from the reds. So I go to the reds. It might take you 5 rounds with how good the kid was.
Yeah.
But as soon as you break 60 from there, then go back one. Shoot 60 from there. Don't go back to hit 60 because you got to get comfortable with breaking 60. Yeah. And you're never going to do it if you've never done it in the first place. Yeah. Like, who fucking cares if it's the reds? You broke 60. And then you can eventually move back from it. So it's funny that you just brought that video up and that he addressed that, because when I saw that video, that clip, I had asked my friends about that, was like, take any of these golfers, what do you think, like, and at this point, I hadn't moved yet, so, like, my typical course was Forest Park.
Yep. Which is, I have grudges against
Dude,
that
oh
course.
my God, it's the most frustrating course to play at. But that was my exact question. Yeah. It was like, how good do you think they could shoot there? And then all of them were like, dude, like 62, 60. I was like, I think they're shooting worse than you think. Because I made that exact point. Like, the condition, they don't know where they're playing. Conditions are probably dog shit. Yeah. It's not used to what they're doing. I feel like it plays on our favor more than anything. Not more than anything.
The greens there are just insane. Like, they're not hard greens, but how they cut them. The aerations, I feel like, never heal.
Nope, never. God, no, never.
Never heal. Anything that you think is breaking is staying straight.
And just, like, take your favorite local course, non-country club course, whichever one it is. It's the same exact thing for all of them. And it's so funny that he brought that up. So you think you agree with that? Because I think I agree with that. Yeah. Not that it's harder, but to a degree. Because they've all played. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
You're good.
Like any of the TPC courses, they've all played, 10, 15, 20 times. Yeah. You throw them down in Forest Park, I don't think they're shooting. Oh, do you think they're shooting par?
A pro?
Yeah.
I think some pro. I mean, like, Forest Park is not very long.
Or take any of the 3 courses out in Eureka.
I think Aberdeen, that they would probably have a better chance of shooting par. Aberdeen's long and it can be windy.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, it's hard to hit over the grass.
I never play well there.
If you go on the grasses, you're
fucked. Yeah.
Like, then there's some holes that, like, if you get to the back on a windy day, you're with the wind against the wind, with the wind against the wind. Like, it goes back and forth. And so, I mean, I think Aberdeen's pretty tough. It's a long course. And I think they had the U.S. Open qualifier there. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Did they really? That's cool.
If you go there, you can go and see there's a few tees that, like, you got to walk back a little bit further to, or you'll, like, see a tee box. After number 2, there's a tee box right behind the middle of the pond, and that's where the tee shot for the par 3 was.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like right after. It's like you come off the green on number 2.
That's probably like another 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah, another 30, 40, and you're straight over water the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 7, there's a tee. There's a tee that's like even with the front of the green on 6, and it's like if you were on 6 green looking into the field, there's a tee that's back behind a hill that you really couldn't see. So they knocked it back. I think it was like 7,000 yards. Or 7,400 yards is what those tees ended up being for the U.S. Open.
Is it
I think that's when it was at Shinnecock.
You were talking Gateway earlier. Isn't Gateway pushing like 8,000?
Gateway's tough.
It's like 76, 7,700, something like that.
Gateway's a tough course too because they had that high grass in between the holes. Like if you miss the fairway,
I've only played there maybe twice. Did not have a good time. I liked playing it. I did not have a good time. Dude, some of those par 5s are like 600 yards.
Yeah, that one that we played is 600 yards. I think the last time I played there, I shot 76.
Damn, go off.
But I think the time before that I played there, I shot like a 92.
It's so fucking difficult.
But it's like I started to finally like progress in my rounds this year to where like, and I have a gin, and if you don't have a gin, I would tell you to get it's the golf handicap index calculator or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's like you can use 18 birdies but like gin is just so much more accurate and it's better to have. And I would say.
So is that like an official scoring or is gin an app?
That gin is an app, but
you can use 18 birdies to get your gin.
No.
Really?
18 birdies is its own handicap calculator.
Oh, I see.
I think gin is more accurate. More players use it. Every member of a country club has to have a gin whenever they play games. Like they have to have a gin so that the scoring is universal and the handicap is universal.
To play, okay.
Yeah.
Not to join, to play in turn. Yes. I see.
And having a gin, it's just like...
And what is that, through 10, 20 rounds or something?
I think it's only through 5 now. It used to be like 20 rounds.
Huh.
But yeah, it's
just your most recent, how you're playing currently. I see.
And they do like, like Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
Wrapped. So they do like a gin Wrapped at the end of the year.
Way.
And they like tell you about like your highest round, your worst round. And
you should keep playing as you keep playing well there.
Yeah, and your statistics throughout the year. Like my lowest round this year was 70.
Damn. Where's that?
That was at Innsbruck. Not a hard course, but this is such a golfer thing to say. I would have shot, this, but like on number 10, there was an actual legal pin. And we started on the back, so 10 is 1. But that is the hardest green on the course. And the pin was like up in this little cove, and the green was all slanting back towards me. And my first putt went up to the hole and just went a little bit by, like maybe a foot by, and I putted it like I could have breathed on it. And I putted it, went by the hole, and it went 9 feet back down. And I putted the next putt up, and then it came back.
Did the exact same thing.
So I knew it was illegal, and but I got a 6, whatever, onto the next hole.
Did you say you knew it was illegal?
I mean that is illegal. If your golf ball travels up to a hole and rolls back, or if it doesn't stay in place, like it happened in the U.S. ladies.
This is like an official PGA rule or something like that?
Yeah, it's a legal pin. You can't put a pin into undulated surface that the golfer doesn't, like, look up to whatever the rule is. Like, what decides an illegal hole. I don't know the exact verbiage of the rule. But
golf illegal pin placement?
Yeah, do the rule.
What does a tough hole location become? Hi, Bob. Hello.
Because it happened in the women's college golf tournament. I think it was either last year or the year before.
Oh, this is asking for a fucking subscription. Yeah, whatever. Keep going.
But I watched this girl. It was on TV. She was putting up to a hole, and the ball went back to her, and she putted one up. It went behind the hole.
Oh, dude, I remember seeing that. She got like a 12 or something. Yeah, she got a 12.
Like that. And then they got the rules official involved, and it was an illegal pin.
No way.
So that's virtually what I went through on that hole.
Damn. Have you ever played Ruth Park?
No, the 9-hole course by...
Yep, up in U City in Clayton.
I haven't played that.
They have, dude, there's a hole there where you tee off and, dude, 45-degree angle down, 45-degree angle up, 300 yards. So if you clear it, you can clear it easy. But if you're 5 yards short of the green, this ball's going...
rolling all the way back down.
100 yards downhill. and the green slanted downhill.
Yeah.
And it's slanted, and then it evens out.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically when we played this one time, the hole was on the down slant.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. So all of us got like 10s or 11s, and all of us like, this is fucking bullshit, dude. It was unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah, I bet.
I had good. I'm glad to hear that I wasn't just having a horrible day.
I mean, but if you go to a municipal course, like,
They don't give a shit, dude. It's $20 a round.
they don't give a shit. And yeah, but on that 70 round, we get to the last hole, and I have to one putt for a 69, whereas I would have liked to have a two putt for a 68.
Right.
But nonetheless, I mean, I shot a 70, but I mean, it was a great round nonetheless. But yeah, it was, yeah, those are those ones that's like golf eats at you. Like, I wish I could have done that.
But you live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
Story time. We were playing at the landings one time, and my buddy Noah, he's a good golfer. He's good days, he's shooting 80. Well, so this story, good days, he's shooting low 80s. Any given day, he can shoot a 97.
It's like our good friend Norm.
Yep, there you go. So what's up, Norm? And this day, he started off hot, dude. Like even through the front nine, and he'd never broken 80, and on hole. So this was hole 17 at the landings, the par 3. We hadn't seen him all day. The fucking course marshal pulls up like 5 feet from the tee box and parks his cart as Noah's walking up there and like putting his ball down. He's like, "Come on, don't be a bitch. Let's see it." And all of us were like,
The marshal said that?
"Yeah." And Noah's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "Come on, fucking stick this thing." And this was on hole 17, and he needed to, and he needed like bogey.
Yeah.
To get a 79, to finally break 80 for his first time. The course marshal gets in his fucking, he says something else to him. He duffs it. The marshal's like, "Nope, that's on me. Take another one." And as Noah's putting up another one, he drives away. And Noah just obviously is fuming. He's like, "No, fuck that. Golf gods intervened. I'm not taking a drop." Plays out, shoots an 81. And all three of us like, "Dude, fuck that. Like, take another one. That was bullshit." He's like, "Nope, I'm not taking it," which is honorable, but at the same time,
Speaks to his character.
yeah, I had never seen a course marshal do that. And all of us were just fucking besides ourselves, dude. I could not believe it. He literally pulled up like, if this is the tee box, like in between, whatever those are, the colored things. His cart's like behind the light, and we're like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" First time we'd seen him all day. Insane. But
dude, sometimes a lot of course marshals are just retired old men.
That's all. All the time.
To do than to just fuck with people or just like have a bad day and make everybody else have a bad day with them.
Literally, yeah. If they're having a good day, they'll hand you a shot or something. Like, I'm curious with this professional stuff in golf. In your LinkedIn bio, you have lifelong learner, action taker, ex-golf professional. How are you using, because when you mentioned this earlier and I said that it's all coming full circle, did this just like stump, like with your golf experience and this worldwide PGA tournament and now these, I guess, incentives for you to be able to get down to Cabo, was that always aligned, or does this just fall into place?
It kind of, it fell into place. Like, I knew Worldwide was, like, into golf. I knew about their sponsorships and stuff like that, but I didn't realize that you get to go play golf in Cabo and do those things with your customers. And it's not like I just found that out this year. I found that out along the way.
Yeah.
Like working for my account managers that, went to Cabo and do that. But, golf will always be a part of my life, and that's why I leave it at my LinkedIn because, one, it's a conversation starter.
It's a part of you.
And two, like even when we talk to like partners or customers, and like I am not afraid to say like I was an ex-golf professional or that it'll make me look lesser in a room. It's more like I always get positive feedback or, "Oh, we should golf sometime," or
it's a part of you.
It will always be a part of me. Golf is like my constant struggle of being good or bad, and
you need that.
And it makes it really makes me, because like I could have a day like so after I shot that 70 round, I went out and played with these guys that are like really good over at not Whitmore, but there's another club that's in St. Charles that I can't think of the name. It's a private club, but Winghaven.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play at Winghaven.
My buddy lives in there.
And I had one of
His parents do.
one of the worst rounds on the front. Like, I think I lost 6 balls in the front 9. And it was just bad.
God, dude, that's a terrible
it was
day.
bad, and they were looking up
every other hole.
Yeah, and they were looking up my handicap, and so we get to the first team. They're like, "Oh, you just shot a 70 2 days ago," and I'm like, "Yep." We were down in like Innsbruck. Innsbruck's not a hard course, but like that fucked me up in my own head. Like, it got me thinking like, "Oh, they think I'm gonna shoot a 70," and I'll have rounds like that where I'll get in my own head, and I will kind of shit the bed, and it's not because I don't have the talent or the aptitude or know how to shoot that score. It's just because I'm thinking of everything other than what do I need to do to be successful on this hole. But that's golf. You get in your own head, and yeah, I hated that round. But I hated the front 9. Then I did better on the back.
So have you had any opportunities where you've been able to show your golf expertise in a work setting?
Not yet.
And this Cabo thing, assume you get. I will assume that you get it.
I will get that.
Do you get to go and play?
You get to play a practice round.
But the trip is down while the tournament's going on?
Yeah. So
holy shit.
I think you go down on like a Tuesday, and you can play like a practice round with your customer on the course that they're going to play on Tuesday.
Wow.
Or Monday. Or it might not be that course. I think it's the course near it.
Sure.
Because they are obviously doing their own practice rounds.
Sure.
So that was incorrect. But you can go play courses that are around there.
But then you get to watch the tournament.
But then you get to watch the tournament.
Wow.
And I think this year, I'm pretty sure it was this year, they had whatever the PGA commissioner, whatever his name is, or the tour commissioner, they had him talk with our CEO and our vice president. They did like a round table for everybody, for the customers and the
That's so cool.
client managers to all go to and listen.
That's so cool.
How the PGA relates to business and relationships and vice versa.
I love that that's actual, like, what word am I looking for? Like, materialized. Because you always hear about how golf is sure, a gentleman's game. Not so much anymore, but, like, well, because of how popular it is now. But you always used to hear about how business gets done on the golf course.
Yeah.
And it's cool that – I think it's cool.
I think it's great.
I bet.
I used to watch it.
Yeah. I think that's super cool that they actually have something. I mean, it's nuts that they sponsor a freaking event in the first place, but to have something like that, incentivized or not, well, incentivized whether you like golf or not, but to have that kind of opportunity, I think that is sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
Because then if you land, I'm your client, you take me, and you take whoever, Jack Elliott, a row.
Yeah.
I mean, those are clients for life.
Yeah.
If you take them down to Cabo to witness a PGA event, dude.
And and the people that you get to see there, it's like it's not only PGA Center, but like it's also the VP of NVIDIA flew down and did a presentation.
Big shots
for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And like having to be able to witness that and be able to put that on as a company, it just
that's really cool.
Speaks volumes to like the investment that we have into our sales team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Reinvestment in your people. Yeah. I fully believe in that. I think it'd be really cool. I've had the thought. I don't really care to share it. I've had the thought that'd be really cool if this ever goes anywhere to host like a Joe Invitational and only invite my past guests.
That'd be fun.
And then all proceeds go to Dylan's charity of choice or whatever. Yeah. I think that'd be really cool.
And that's funny that you say that. So I think like Ro brought it up about doing like tournaments like with our friends, and I thought about like what if we did like I've been thinking about this because my cousin does it. But just like start a group and go play at like public courses.
Mm-hmm. Keep this pretty close to your face.
Say you do it.
You can move it as much as you need to.
Say you do it once a month or twice a month. You go play, a course for like Saturday, Sunday, or you just do it for one day, whatever it is, and you get 4 foursomes or whatever, and you pay $20 into the pot, and you kind of just do like a little like mini tournament, handicap involved. And then you have like a year, like a summer long.
Like $1,000, $2,000 for the pot over the course of the summer.
Yeah, over the course of the summer, like you just put a Facebook group, you have a running total.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And be able to do that with like the people here in St. Louis. I think that would be fun. Not only because it's like you get to play golf with people that you never golf with, or that you don't get to see, or that you know.
Networking, bingo, right there.
And you kind of
introducing people to people.
Yeah, and you just grow the game and just networking. But I think it would just be fun because it's like now as we're getting older and we have life, we have to do shit on our own.
Yeah, seriously.
To just get people together that you don't always get to see and just have some fun on the golf course and it might be a little stressful. Like you're playing for money, but at the end of the day, you're having fun getting to see people. But yeah, I think that would be fun to set up like a little like men's public classic.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. That was in the same kind of tune. It's so funny how much we're talking about golf. I don't give a fuck. It's my fucking podcast. Sorry for cussing people.
That's fine. I will talk about golf.
I played at Baldwin Municipal. Yeah. It's connected to this neighborhood. And so it's a 3-minute drive for me, 4-minute drive for me. And I'm a Baldwin resident, so it's like $20 with a cart or something like that. I think it's $23, whatever.
No, yeah, it's cheap.
Dog track, but a lot of fun. Yeah. It's fine. So I'd play before work, solo a lot of times. Like 6:50 tee times, 7 o'clock tee times. I'm back at my desk I'm home before 9, at my desk by 9:15, 9:30.
It's just 9 holes.
Yeah, exactly. But one time I went and did it, and I not only got paired with a threesome, I had to share a cart with this guy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and one guy was, dude, I wish I remembered their names. The other 2 carts, one guy was like 82, 84, and the other guy was like late 60s, pushing 70, and then the guy with me was like mid-50s. Guy with me was a drywaller. Other guy was a retired electrician, and the other guy was like a retired, he was something in real estate, because I talked to him for whatever. He was like an appraiser or something, or a lender, or whatever.
Something in real estate.
Yeah, those 3, this was on a Friday morning. Every Friday morning, they were from down in South County, not Fenton, not Arnold, somewhere in Jeffco, whatever. But every Friday morning, the 3 of them would travel up to an hour away from their house, and they all met each other at church. And now they travel, and every Friday morning they would play 9 holes at a different municipal course.
Really? And
sometimes they'd go all the way out, like to Lake St. Louis. They went to Warrenton one time. They'd go to Washington. They'd go all the way down to like Barnhart. Like all these, and I got matched with him. And by the end of the round, they invited me to church.
Really?
Yeah, I was no offense to them. I was never gonna go. I mean, the church is like an hour away.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's so cool that they're doing this and they're keeping up with it. And I've never played in a men's league, but they talked about that and they compete in those kind of things and all that stuff. But it sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Because they've played I asked about the courses and the dude was like, oh God, I don't know. Past 2 years we played like 35 of the courses around here. And I've only played. I bet in St. Louis I've played 10, maybe 15 courses, and there's, 40 of them?
Yeah, there's
so
St.
many.
Louis public golf is...
That's what I've heard.
There's some gems that not a lot of people know, or that they're further out of the way, so you wouldn't go there.
Give me your top 5 public.
Top 5 public.
Including Illinois.
Gateway National.
Fair.
And this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just...
Yeah, sure. No particular order.
Gateway National and Ambrier over on the Illinois side.
I've never played Ambrier. I've also heard good things.
Yep, those are good. So Birch Creek is in Union, Missouri.
Oh, shout out Union.
And it is...
What's up, Dave?
It is a gem.
Birch Creek.
I like Birch Creek. It's not... It's a tough track. It's kind of long.
That's got to be almost an hour away.
No, from my house, it's...
Yeah, probably 30
minutes,
yeah.
But that course is... It's like a hidden gem out there.
Really?
Yep. I like that course a lot.
Union, damn, that's out there. Yep. That's past Villa Ridge.
Yep. So that's 3. Aberdeen now is getting back to where it used to be. Past couple of years, they redid the irrigation system, so a bunch of the stuff didn't grow back in right. It was kind of looked like a dog track for a little bit, but Aberdeen's still, I love Aberdeen. It's one of my favorites. The Bluffs is great.
I played there for my first time last summer, and I loved it. It's probably one of my favorites now.
From
one time.
Yeah. So the first 1, 2, 3. First 5 holes, if you are 5 over par after the first 5 holes, you will definitely be shooting in the 80s or 90s.
Because of how difficult those front 5 are?
No, because of how stressed out you will be after shooting 5 over in the first 5 holes. Because, like, those holes, they're not hard. But if you get fucked in those first 5 holes, it just makes the rest of the round, like, a tough hill to climb.
It was tough, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
Everything was uphill.
Like, the first hole is the easiest par 5 you could ever play. It's a straight downhill par 5 that you can reach into.
Fucking pipe it.
Yeah, and then the second hole is a 160-yard par 3 that, for whatever reason, I've hit the fan that is on the green.
Yeah, on the backside of it.
3 different times, and I'm like, how do I hit this fan? Like, I shouldn't be able to hit, like, if I'm that accurate on accident. Like, geez, if I was that accurate on purpose.
Fucking 30 yards from the pin.
Yeah, I'd never hit that fan. But, yeah, so I hit that fan 3 different times. And then the next hole, all you got to do is just lay one out there 200 yards, and I'll either hit one high and right into the woods or hook one. And this is not every single time, but it's like those are my misses. So I'll go left. And then the next hole is a straightaway par 4, and, like, my miss there is hitting one high and right.
It's crazy how you remember all these.
Yeah,
you sound like my high school football coach and how you remembered plays.
I can remember just about every shot I've ever taken on a course.
You played a lot of golf though, going back to high school.
Yep.
So, Annbriar, Gateway, Birch Creek.
Gateway, Birch Creek, the Bluffs. Let's think of another one. I mean, other than that, for like public-wise, I mean, Wentzville has some good ones. I liked Incline Village is actually really good.
The only time I've played out in St. Chuck is I played the par 3 one time, the night one.
Oh, yeah, Pheasant Run.
And then
that's like O'Fallon.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Incline's pretty good. I like Incline. But and then Wentzville, the Country Club of Wentzville is good.
Holy shit, that's out there.
Yeah, that one's out there too, but it's like on a massive lake. They have a par 3
Yeah, that
water.
looks sick. Cool. What is this lake? Is this a neighborhood?
Yeah, it's like you would never know it's there.
Indian Camp Creek. Wow, that is sweet.
Yeah, they got some good scenery out there.
I'm a big fan over in Illinois. They're right across the street from each other. One's Stone Wolf, and the other one is
the Oaks. 4 Oaks?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah, 4 Oaks is good too. I have a funny Far Oaks story. When I was working at Forest Hills, I had to go over there and play a Metro Cup match against the one of the assistant pros over there, and the guy was a 9 handicap, between a 9 and 13. I can't remember what it was, but he was a higher handicap compared to me at the time, and I was like a 2 or 1, and he pulls up to the first tee with 2 knee braces on, an elbow brace, and then tape on his wrist.
Oh, my Lord. He's banged up.
He almost holed out 3 times from 150 yards.
Holy shit.
And he beat me by like 9 shots.
Oh, my God.
And I shot a 74.
What was this dude's deal? He was in the 60s?
He was in the 60s as a 9 handicap. Something's off.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And, like, I didn't play bad. I was just, like, sorry, like, he shot as that with his handicap.
Okay, sure.
So, I shot a 74 straight up. He shot a
76,
76 or something like that. Yeah, but he got, like, he used all of his strokes, and then he parred out, like, the other holes. So I'm like, this guy, how
damn.
Put two knee braces, an elbow sleeve, and tape on his other wrist. And he's still working there.
How old is this guy?
He was probably like early 50s when I played him the first time, and then when me and my dad and my cousins went and played there about 3 or 4, like in October of last year, he was still working there.
Really?
And I reminded him about that.
No
He's like,
way.
I remember that. It was like one of my best rounds.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, dude. Jesus, that's something I love about it.
But I got worked. But like that's the thing about handicaps. Like some people will sandbag and like and have some bad rounds. But yeah, that was a shot to the ego. Like being a 1 handicap and getting beat by a 9 by like that many strokes.
Because on no day of the week should that happen.
No, ever. I mean, that shouldn't happen unless he like gets 4 hole-in-ones. But like we're in the middle of a par 4, and I still remember it because he hits this shot and it hits the flag. It almost jars it, like coming down, hits the bottom of the flag, almost jars it, and it sits right there. And I'm chipping onto the green for my 3rd shot. So I'm like, well, I just lost this hole because 3 times that I had to pick up because I either had a long putt for birdie or I was chipping on the green for 3 to get a par, and he's already in, and I'm like,
good God, man.
And then, yeah, it was a tough round.
That's something I love about it, though, is, again, with those guys that I played from that went to church, is the longevity of it. Yeah. I think that's really cool. I totally get it now, the low impact. Not the ease of it, but the ease of it.
Yeah.
You don't need to fucking throw your spine out every single time. That was something my dad always told me, is that he, up until his mom passed away, which was when I was, I don't know, like 6, 5, something like that. I don't know how old she was. She was probably 80s, late 80s or something. But she played golf up until she was like 80-something.
Yeah.
And she wasn't hitting 200-yard drives, but every single shot was 150 yards right down the pipe.
That's all you need.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you have the ball that you started the golf hole with, you should be scoring pretty good.
I want to hear your take on, because I've heard, obviously inflation's hit everything, but I've heard ridiculous numbers of golf pre and post COVID.
Of like what it costs
per
round?
Yeah, because I've never paid for a round of golf until after COVID.
Yeah.
So I only know $80 a round. Gateway's what, $120, something like that?
No, I mean,
on a Saturday?
Maybe on a Saturday. But like I like to use golf now.
I do too, to find the deals.
It's not an ad, but I love golf now.
Yeah, I agree. Not even to find the deals, just to find a freaking tee time,
find
bro.
a tee time or find the ads, or like what I like to do on golf now is if I don't have anybody to play with, I will go and find a threesome and I will go join them because I would rather play with people than play alone.
Can you do that?
Yeah. Because it'll show you, like, one golfer, like, one spot available.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I like playing with people. Like, I'm not afraid to not go play with somebody. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, some people might be, like, they might be working on their golf game or be new to golf and they don't want to do that. But that's totally fine. But, like, playing with people that are better than you or... Yeah, I mean, playing with people who are better than you, it's just like putting yourself in a room of experts and you go listen to them talk, but you're going to get something out of it. Mm-hmm. And or you're just going to have a new relationship out of it. Like, there's been time, like when I lived in Atlanta, I didn't know a single fucking person in Atlanta. I lived in the basement of one of the ladies that worked for Worldwide Technology.
Did you really?
She'd been there for 12 years, or 9 years. Carrie, she was our strategic resourcing rep for Atlanta and some of the East Coast. She's like 67, but she had a full basement apartment, so I just rented that from her. And I would go out on the weekends and find tee times and go play with people that I'd never met. Met a few, like, just guys that offered me jobs while I was working down there, which maybe I should have talked to them and I'd still be there, but whatever. And yeah, I would just go play with just random people, and the golf in Georgia is insane.
I bet,
public courses there are tough and grueling, but beautiful. And I loved the golf in Atlanta a lot. But
have you traveled other places for it?
For golf?
Like other states, I should say.
We played in Arizona last year.
Oh, nice.
Played at Wekopaw.
I'm doing that. I'm going to a bachelor party in March. We're doing Scottsdale, and that'll be my first time golfing there. Which I'm very excited for.
You'll love it. In March?
The end of March, I think.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That'll be good. Yeah, we played Wekopaw, which is like out in the desert. Amazing views.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this. I saw you left. Yeah, a bunch of you went out there. 4 or 5 of you went out there? To Parker's parents,
6
right?
of us, yeah. Parker's house. Yeah, we played at Wekopaw, Boulders, and True North, and that was the best 3 rounds of golf that I put together in a weekend.
I mean, that was a good feeling.
I shot 78, 78, 79, 75, or 75 in the middle, whichever one it was. But I shot in the 70s all that week.
Brand new courses, that's got to feel good.
It was, I mean, but those courses, if you aren't in the fairway, you're literally in a cactus. Or the desert, or in someone's pool.
Right. You're hitting a rock and it's going 40 yards.
And that was a fun trip, just because like the golf there was so good. Mm-hmm. And it has
fun. To be.
Yeah. And it was just a really, really good experience of playing on just courses that I never played and in a state that I've never played. So I'm excited about playing. You know, I want to go down there and play again because that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we played like, you know, Bob does sports.
Yeah.
We were talking to the cart guys, and they were like, we asked them if Bob does sports had come up there, and they're like, we love those guys. They're so awesome, and like they treat us well, and they do a good job.
That's cool to hear.
Because like you think about those guys that do the podcast or do those like YouTube videos on a golf course, and like that probably is a lot of people. They have to have all those people film. They gotta have people up on the green.
I mean, for a foursome, there's got to be 8-10 guys probably.
Yeah, and like that has to take a long time to get all that in or like be respected.
Right.
Because like a round
Pace of play and everything.
Yeah, a round should realistically only take at the max 4 hours.
4.5 if you're pushing it.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, but to hear that like they like them and that they're respectable is good because they were talking about some other ones that are not as respectable or think they're hot shit. And like I'd love to do a podcast or do a YouTube film or whatever it is on a golf course with buddies one day. That would be nice. Do something like I've always wanted to do something like that. I think it's just I've never pulled the trigger on it. I mean, I started a bagel company, but that I just like to make bagels and I like to put it on my story.
They look really good.
And they're fun to make, and I mean, I actually have a breakfast bagel almost every day.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's just so easy to make.
If you know what you're doing. I have a breakfast burrito probably 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing every time.
Yeah.
I might switch up the sauce.
Yeah.
But it's the same exact thing every time, and I look forward to it every morning.
Yeah. Same. And it's like you find stuff like that. Like I've been harping Cole I'm like, you should manage a bagel shop if I open one because he lives managing sauce on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in the next couple of years I will open my own bagel shop.
No shit.
On the side.
Dude.
I would love to
St.
do
Louis
that.
needs one. Me and my buddies gripe so hard about the lack of breakfast sandwich shops, places, opportunities in St. Louis as a whole.
Yeah.
Let alone the county, the city, dude. When we lived in Clayton, there's like four options in the span of like 20 minutes.
And you have to like go sit down and get your food and like
it's $16.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I just want a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah. Bacon, egg, and cheese bagel with a little bit of Tabasco or sriracha.
Right.
Yeah. Like my dream would be to like not have a sit down bagel place. Be like you drive through, get a
like
bagel.
a donut palace kind of a thing.
And you can walk in like the front door, there's a counter, order a bagel. You get it to go. It'll take you like 8 minute wait or whatever it is. But that is what I would think. Because when you want breakfast, you don't want to go sit down and have breakfast. If you like during the week, if you're in a rush or going on the way to work, grab a bagel and go.
Even on the weekends, I think it's maybe once a month. Maybe every other week, me and Berta go grab breakfast. And at that point, we don't want to spend an hour and a half.
Yeah,
we're gonna be in and out in 30, 40 minutes.
Yep.
And that's sitting down.
Yeah. Think of like when you're hungover on the weekend. Like,
yeah, that's the last fucking thing I want to do, dude.
Yeah, I can just order a bagel or like just drive through and grab a bagel. So, yeah, look for that in the horizon in the next couple of years.
I was curious with the bagel things and with your LinkedIn if you had, I don't want to call it a play, but like any intention behind the social media strategy, if you will.
Not really. I mean, I kind of just get ideas.
Because I noticed you were pretty active on LinkedIn and you're pretty active on Instagram too.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram's kind of like just an outlet to like have fun, and like you'll always see me post stuff about golf or like a story about golf, and that's just kind of my creative outlet of golf. Of just taking
sometimes
videos.
that's all you need. Yeah,
and
everyone needs a creative outlet.
I enjoy doing that, as well as the bagels. But LinkedIn, I've tapped into more recently. It's just like I'm not harping on people on LinkedIn Messenger. I just would rather interact with people's posts or connect with people and just interact and have a presence that way as someone that, likes to engage, likes to offer, conversation. Like I just posted LinkedIn about me snowboarding the other day. And like
I saw a lot of comment on it.
Yeah. And it was like I've seen people post on LinkedIn before. Like I just saw this lady post about like, what do you do in a crisis situation when it was about her son getting rear-ended on the highway? And I'm not talking down on it or like, it's just like I see posts like that where it's like they relate it to business, but it's so much more serious.
Yeah.
It's where like I like to add some humor into it. I'm a pretty sarcastic person. I like to make a joke. If I have an opportunity to make a joke, I will.
Sure.
And I was like 5 similarities I found between trying to learn how to do a front flip on a snowboard in tech sales. And it was like, have a plan, like know how you want to do it or have a plan and then 2, 3, and 4 was like refer to number 1, refer to number 2, refer to number 3, and then it feels
it's hard
good
without a plan. Refer to 1, refer to 2, refer to 3.
Yep, and it feels good when you land your first.
Yep. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
So I'm gonna start doing more of that and just like kind of having fun with it because LinkedIn it's like the professional Instagram, but it's also just like another gateway of networking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so is Instagram. I mean, you can meet anybody that you want to meet on Instagram. But I like LinkedIn more now than I did before, and it's fun. It's just a way to be creative, way to just stay true to who you are as a person, and not like I'm no different than who I am on Instagram than who I am on LinkedIn, who I am in person. It's just that's who I am, and that's how I like to be.
I agree to that. I'll give you a nod to that. That's how it should be. And sometimes it's okay for anything just to be fun.
Yeah.
Everything doesn't need to have rhyme or reason or fucking maturity to it. Just do it for fun.
Yeah. Just because I wear a collared shirt during the week doesn't mean I need to be any type of different person at work than I am, at home. And that's learning to be like that. Because I think before, when I first joined Worldwide, I'm like, wow, I'm joining a 10,000 person company or 7,000 person company that's a corporate organization that sells technology or resells technology that I have no background in. There's the saying like fake it till you make it.
Right.
And I kind of was at the beginning, faking it till I made it and figuring out, who I was within the grand scheme of things. It's like if I didn't do my job, the company would not burn down or cease to exist. It's someone else could do my job. But then I started to understand like my core competencies and where I was successful, and being able to highlight that while still staying true to understanding that I am my own individual, and I am additive, and I am really good at talking to people and addressing issues and shedding light on new things, or just being able to ask a question if I don't understand something and bring that to the table. Whereas I think I was scared to do that before because it was all new, and I literally knew nothing about technology.
Right.
I didn't really know what a switch was. I didn't know what I knew what a router was, but it's because I had 4 or 5 of them in college because I needed internet. But I'm not like, oh, what does this do? Like, what do I, I know it gives me Wi-Fi, but, why does a corporate organization need one that has, 50 ports that connect to different switches that, all that different stuff. So
that was something my buddy Gideon, good buddy of mine, I met him through my first job. He's been on here once or twice now. I took a page from him. He's super active on LinkedIn. And I asked him about it, and it wasn't because he saw it as like an in to grow. He said the exact same thing. He was like, I just see it as like another Instagram, and it's like you're kind of losing if you're not using it. Yeah. And he has 5,000 followers on LinkedIn, and any given one of his posts will have like 10,000 impressions on it.
Really?
And I took a page out of that, and exactly what you're saying is I started posting. I'm going episode by episode, so it's taking time. I have to go back and listen to them and take notes on it, and then reflect on what I learned. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I've been trying. I've been trying to fucking hack this so hard.
You got to do what you need to do is Otter AI.
Say that. Spell that.
Otter OTER, or I think it's otter.io or Otter AI.
Otter.ai software company.
So that one
meeting note taker and real time AA transcription.
Have that record, like have your podcast playing out loud on your computer and have that up, and it'll transcribe your whole podcast. Throw that into ChatGPT, take out the key nuggets, and then you will still listen to it, obviously, but then it'll
help a ton, because then I can listen to the podcast on 2x.
Yeah.
So
it'll play it back to you on that.
I have it pulled up. I'm gonna look into that.
That's great. I use that for meetings because I have ADD.
Same.
Whenever and I just don't like WebEx meetings or like.
Oh, Basic is free.
Yeah, it's free. I don't like meeting on a computer. If I can only see this much of you, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're doing. And it could be a great meeting. It's just like, for me, I would rather be face-to-face with you and just talk to you and see like how you are. It's just, talking to someone, seeing if they're receptive. Like if I cross my arms, if they cross their arms too, I usually know that they're like
Actually looking at you, listening. Yeah, I'm with you.
They're engaging with me. Yeah, I hate going on and doing corporate meetings like that. Like, it's just, I don't know why it's so uncomfortable to me.
That's one thing that pros and cons, two sides of the sword. I'm fully remote right now. My company's based out of Texas. I'm just on the Midwest team. So that's what I'm one of the only guys in the Midwest. We're all, everyone, maybe except for the people in Austin. I don't know that answer, but we're all 100% remote. And I've been with this company now for 7 months, going on 7 months. And I met one kid. I was up in Chicago one weekend, and one of my colleagues, whatever you want to call it, teammates, he lives in Chicago, so got coffee with him. But other than that, haven't shook a single hand.
Yeah.
And it's a weird dynamic because, like, I talk to, like, my boss every day, if not every day on the phone for 40 minutes. But, like, I've never looked him in the eyes. Yeah. I have no idea. He could be 6'10", he could be 5'6". I have no fucking clue. And, you know, you can get a good feel for these people, but it's, like, the only ever time. And, like, some of these people on the team, there's 30 of us, maybe 35 of us, something like that. I haven't said a word to some of these people. Yeah. We've never had, outside of a team-wide training where all 30 people on the call, I've never once had a, hey, how are you? What do you do? How long you been here? Zero.
Yeah, that's tough. Like I can only imagine for, you know, think of us coming out of college at this time.
Mm-hmm. Dude, impossible.
Yeah. Or even being in college, say, during COVID, like, I would have failed.
Dude.
If we went all online, I would have been screwed.
For how half-assedly I already did it. Yeah. No freaking way, dude.
But back to the, like, point of, like, ADD and trying to focus during those meetings, I have to have that up. Because it's not that I'm not paying attention to what they say. It's like if I try to take notes while they're talking, I'm screwing up what I want to ask them and thinking at the same time. So it's just like having that little, you know, AI tool be running in the background. And I do tell them, I go, I'm going to record this so I have notes so that I can, you know, regurgitate an email after this to be able to kind of like talk about like what our next steps are. And also, so it frees up my mind to where I can ask you the right questions and what I want to get out of the conversation rather than kind of, you know, trying to scribble. Like, I had to go back to these notes that I took from a meeting 2 years ago. And it was like trying to read hieroglyphs. I did not know what the hell I wrote down. I was like...
Because at the time when you're typing, you're like, this makes perfect sense. I know exactly what I'm saying. I was 300 conversations later. Oh, jeez. Yeah. No, handwriting, no way. I could never keep up.
Yeah, I can shorthand notes pretty well, but I don't know what I was doing when I was in that meeting because I think it was one of those meetings because it was 2 years ago, so I probably was like really scared not knowing what because I was holding the meeting with a new customer and inevitably it didn't go anywhere at the time because they just had too much stuff going on to where like they had a timeline for us to get stuff done that it wasn't going to make sense. So we ended up passing him off and now bringing it to 2 years later. Now we want to re-engage with them, and I'm going back and looking at my notes. I'm like, well, I
just start from scratch.
I'm just going to start from scratch.
We've actually never met before.
Yeah, and so hopefully we get an email back from them. But just stuff like that. Like AI is so interesting. How many tools there are that make your life easier. I mean, like I have ChatGPT. Like I will type an email out, and I'll have ChatGPT just like read through it. I don't like to have ChatGPT write my own emails.
You can tell. It's so easy to tell.
Because you can tell immediately. Like, it's almost word for word the same, no matter who you're saying. Like, I want to send an email to this person in the C-suite related to, you know, this technology or this service or this issue that's going on. And almost all the emails come back, like, virtually the same.
Yep.
And so, like I would rather have, you know, a spelling error or miss comma or miss period in my email so they know that it's human than I would have it be, you know, sound so eloquently. Yeah. Like I don't even speak like that normally, so why would my email
I don't even know some of these words.
Yeah. And like you can tell because I'll get emails. I mean, I'll get emails from, you know, bars that want to work with us and I'm like, a person write this or is this?
It's so easy to tell, dude. Yeah. That's what that was something my boss said, like day one. He was like, do you know ChatGPT? I'm like, yep. He's like, promise you, use it every day. If you have any questions, don't text me, throw it in there, see what it says, and then than come to me. And it's more like use it as a proofreader. Again, a tool. Don't use it as a replacement. Use it as a compliment. And it does help a ton. And it's crazy because there'll be like, I actually had it edited out of a past episode. I was talking about something I was working on, but like I can throw in, like on affordable housing, I can go to like the Kansas City Housing Authority and download their the 40-page PDF on like restrictions and stuff, then upload it to ChatGPT, and it's not like legally binding shit. It's just a public document, and says, "Hey, read this. Spit back to me the key points of each page," and it'll do it. It'll take me 10 minutes to read, but it'll save me 2 hours of reading. And it's like, I'm not going to go through all this shit. I don't need to.
Yeah, I love doing that. Like when I am just researching a company, I throw in their 10K or their annual revenue earnings report, or just like the risk factors or whatever it is, and I just have it regurgitate that back to me, and that could be like a 23-page document,
right,
to
dude.
where it slims it
of
down
just like bullshit lingo. Like it's like reading like legal stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to confuse people.
And just stuff that I don't need. But I like it now. Like LinkedIn Sales Navigator now has their own AI tool embedded in it. So
I saw that.
It'll regurgitate like how Worldwide can partner with, X, Y, and Z company. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty insightful and it's pretty accurate. Like I've had I've used it in some conversations, and it's actually led to like more conversations to where they're like, how did we get to this point? Or they're surprised by the question that it actually relates to like what is going on. Mm-hmm. And it helps. I mean, it's having information readily available is great, but it's also like back in the day, the time spent to get that information could have taken you weeks, or it's like this.
Literally. And half the time it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
You can't do anything in the meantime.
No.
That's what, going back to LinkedIn and Gideon, and like how it's just like it's like literally a social network. So it's a networking thing. And Instagram's great, Twitter's great, TikTok's great for what they are, the purpose they serve. I don't remember where I heard it, because like obviously the cliche with LinkedIn is how corny it is. Like you were saying, like people use dramatic events to, hey, I got shot yesterday. This is what it taught me about B2B sales. It's like, lay off, guy. Yeah. But it's so in tune with the professional world. I wish I could remember where I heard this from. But someone mentioned about how if you're not posting on it, and if you're in the social space, like this as an example, that's why I started posting on it, was because you can like it, and because you like my post, someone at Worldwide sees it. They're also in the same network as the fucking head of partnerships at Frito-Lay.
Yeah.
And it's like, because of that, because they saw my post, they still have a podcast, then you land a sponsorship through that. Mm-hmm. And you're never landing that through Instagram when you have 1,000 people. Not saying that's where the position I'm in, but he was like, you're missing out on all these opportunities. And like, not that this is serious, but I like to think this is more serious than not. Yeah, right?
Where you might not necessarily have a total end goal, but like to get a sponsorship deal, to get to that point, you'd rather explore that possibility or put yourself in an opportunity to get there, to where it makes all the sense to post more.
And like the people that I'd like to have on eventually, like whether they're not active on LinkedIn or not, if they're around our age, they probably are. Not even active, but probably on it. And that's just putting like how the algorithms work and who you see, and like the suggested feed and the suggested connections and all that. It's more in tune with who I'm looking to speak with than Instagram is. Right. The bullshit I see on Instagram is not in line with who I'm looking to speak with, like, at all. Yep. I think it's a great avenue for, used in the right way. I think it's an avenue that people are really missing out on because of like the rep that it gets and like how people use it.
But I mean, if LinkedIn wasn't a successful, application that people use for business every day, then people wouldn't use it,
right?
Or wouldn't still be around.
I check it every morning. Yeah. It's one I've got like 5 sites that I run through every morning to keep tabs on everything, and it's one of them I check.
I love checking like LinkedIn now. It's like my professional Instagram. Like I'll even watch LinkedIn videos. Like I'll scroll through those videos just because like a lot of them are great. They're additive to like what's going on, or it's just like if someone that I'm trying to get connected with has a post, I'll go comment on it. And like I like where I see like if someone views your profile, then it's like it's a lot easier to connect with them. Or
Yeah, big time.
and like the post that I made the other day, I had like
A couple thousand impressions or
yeah,
something.
I think I had 2,000 impressions, but of those impressions, I had at least 9 new connections out of that post.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Of some of our partners, some of the technology partners that we have, just some friends that maybe I wasn't connected to, but it's like seeing how that like, and it was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like necessarily serious. It was serious, but with a hint of sarcasm. But it was more because I wanted to post a video that I.
But it shows in the professional setting.
Yeah.
I am a human.
Yeah,
I am who I say I am.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
If you reach out to me, I'll probably see it.
Yep.
If it's worth my time, I'll probably respond.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just seeing that kind of growth. It's like you could post a story on Instagram and like same people, they'll like your story.
Same 300 people see it. Yeah.
Or they'll just click through it and then it's gone in 24 hours.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, LinkedIn is a great avenue to go down, but I'm definitely going to start posting more. It's just, I think early on, I just thought it was to be more professional and really just to connect with people and kind of just.
Same. I always saw it just like your public resume.
Yeah. Like I recently got promoted, like just those kind of things, like just random things like that, or an event for work or just random things. But yeah, Instagram, or LinkedIn will be my new Instagram.
That's what I started posting about this on there, like my takeaways. And I needed to finish. It's just
You just have a lot of backlog.
And it sucks. It's always 2020, but I have 20 episodes to catch up on, and that's 60 hours of listening and time I got to go through. And I'm thinking about, I started with episode 1, and I posted about like episode 2 and 3 maybe, and I need to post about those, but I'm also thinking about posting like whenever this gets posted, just to start with that one.
Yeah, just
and
do
then
like
go
relevant.
backwards.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be kind of fun with like a back review, and I don't know. But also I think it's sweet because like, not that I'm looking to be that guy, but I would like, it would be awesome if I post. Let's say you're looking for a job, and I post about this conversation, what I learned from you, what I learned from this conversation, and someone saw that and they reached out to you and you got a new job from it.
Yeah,
I want nothing back, but I think that'd be freaking amazing. That's the whole point of it all.
Yeah. It's just to bring awareness to, one, the people in your life and just stories that, no one would know about unless you posted it.
Because like I'm saving them the interview. You can go and listen to it, and you can save the fucking first 4 interviews about wasting anything. You can listen on 2x speed. Hell, you can listen to 30 minutes. I don't care. But you can probably pick up on a lot pretty quickly. Yep. I don't know.
I like that. I didn't necessarily think about that for these, but it's like it's the same thing in business. Like if someone saw a video of me talking, whether it's about golf or whether it's about the last podcast that we did, like they would get a pretty good understanding of like what I've gone through in the early
absolutely
early stages of my life after college, like where my social aptitude is, where my professionalism is, or and anyone on the podcast that you've talked to, it's just having a video of someone to know that they're human and it's not like a bland email that they get or just a piece of paper that says here's my work experience. Am I a good candidate?
Right.
That is good. I like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. And like if anyone needs references, dude, just fucking send them the link. Yep. Here I am. Here's everything you need to know.
Yep. And LinkedIn's like you also you might connect with somebody that doesn't post all the time, but you see that they're connected with somebody else that maybe you want to talk to.
Right. Bingo.
And just to have that mutual connection, it just makes it easier to kind of connect with somebody else.
Yeah, I'm with it. I had another follow-up on that. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I hate looking at it all between Instagram and LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. I hate, like I asked you earlier, like strategy. I hate that. Like
I don't have a strategy.
Everything, like how you look at anything, how anyone breaks it all down, it's like you gotta have a strategy with it. It's like you can kind of just fucking post.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking too much about it, you're Like if
you're
you're
not
looking
doing the
for
thing that you wanna
if
do.
you're looking for perfection, it's never gonna come. You're never gonna be able to get to it. It's never gonna happen. Just fucking go for it and see what happens.
Yeah, and I think like, and also it's like, why do you have to figure out the algorithm? Why can't they
Right.
why can't they just say like, hey, this is our algorithm. This is kind of how you get more noticed, and you know, and if you do this, this will get you, you know, more awareness, more brand recognition, whatever it is, whatever your goal is. Like this is how to achieve it. If they're creating those applications for people to utilize, people like you're not monetizing on like utilizing LinkedIn. You're more so just utilizing this free application to connect to other people, whether it's in your industry, whether it's in your interest, whether it's, you know, from your school, whatever it is. Like, why isn't there just a framework that says, here's how you become successful on LinkedIn?
Right.
Like, why not?
Right.
Why do I have to listen to, you know, Joe Blow, who is a LinkedIn expert?
Right.
I post.
He's got 19 badges.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. It's like I get the influencers and that stuff, and why why like organizations pay them to be their influencers, but also it's like, this is America.
Yep.
Like, why not be the company that pushes the people up who want to succeed and have goals to succeed? Give them a framework of getting that success. I don't want to pay somebody $20, $200 for a master class on how to be successful.
Right.
Like it's
Or $5,000.
I get it. Like, get off your ass and go do it. Like, a lot of people have the want to go do it, but they might not have the means, or they might not have $200 to go into a master class that ends up being fake and costs them $200, and they're still stuck at square one.
Right. I'm with you. It's like trying to go on a road trip without a map.
Yeah.
I can pay you to tell me all about Vegas, but I don't know how to get there, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. This is good, man. Got anything else? We're at 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, just like that.
I feel like that's what happened last
I
time.
mean, it does,
like,
dude.
What was, I think last one was like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something.
Something
like
like that, probably. I don't know. I don't want any of them to be under like an hour and a half. I've had a couple go to an hour and a half. But I just keep tabs on it. It's like, okay, we're at an hour. And then like I keep like 30-minute tabs.
that. Okay. Yeah, I think one of the things I did want to, I should have said it earlier, but I think this is relatable to a lot of people, like a lot of athletes. When an athlete goes from, you know, in college, I wasn't necessarily a college athlete, but I have an athlete mindset, and taking an athlete mindset and putting it into business, it's just not the same thing.
Dude, I asked this exact question to a buddy a couple months ago, because I feel like that struggle is so real for a lot of people.
It's insanely real.
You always hear about, oh, you're an athlete, you'll be a great fit.
Yeah.
We're not running 40-yard dashes, and I'm not running slides on backside.
Unless it is quicker sales, like medical sales, it is, I would say being an athlete is really good to be in that industry. Technology sales, being an athlete in technology sales, it's good for the competitive thing because you have that constant want and drive to succeed. But the timeline in my specific role, and I think in other roles that take longer, like say for
8, 9, 10 months.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10 months. Those, like, it kills you because you're just like, what am I doing? Like, because like in medical sales, it's like if you don't get the sale, you know that someone else beat you, or they were there quicker, or their technology was better.
Right.
But if it takes 8 months and then you get that, it's just like the lows of waiting that long to getting that success. It's like, what do you do in the short term to, you know, stay active, stay agile, stay, you know, happy. And it's that, I think that is a tough part of working right now for me personally. It's just like,
interesting.
I can be doing my routine of setting what I need to do, seeing the accounts that I need to go after, finding the contacts that I want to connect with, engaging with them, finding relevant information to email them, all for 6 months down the road. Hey, we already have another partner. When they finally email me back, or early on, they'll email me back and we'll have a meeting, and it goes nowhere. Or just waiting that long for anything, for any response. But, I mean, I get it. Like, you think of General Motors. General Motors is like top 5 Forbes list.
Right. I mean, they got to have what?
they got to have
200,000 employees.
Yeah, but like thinking of like if you need something passed in GM, how many people it has to go through
have to be on that? Yeah.
for it to be approved, or finding the right person to bring it to the right person for them to even be aware about it. Like that's like the corporate hurdles that,
let alone getting the ball started, just to get to the right person.
Just to get to the right person. Or like them not knowing who they need to go to, or them not, holding the budget, and then having to take the person who holds the budget to dinner, to to all these different things, just for them to be like, no, I think we're going to go a different direction. It's just like, why? And like so many people are adverse to change, and trying to convince them to change because it'll help them, even though it's like talking to a guy who's had the same golf swing for 30 years and getting him to change something. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable until you open your mind and you just look at it from an unbiased perspective.
Getting back to the unbiased. Yeah, what it could be.
Yeah, what it could be. Like, this is an analogy, and it is golf, so get ready. My dad is 68 years old. He's had the same golf swing for a long time. He has a very exaggerated backswing that goes behind his shoulders, and I tried to get him to just shorten it up a little bit. And it was like I was speaking to him in Chinese. I was like trying to get him to feel different things and trying to change that. It was just, and then I was finally like, okay, we're not going to change that. I'm just going to set you up for success in a different way. And that's how I've kind of had to think about business now. It's like, I don't want to change what you're doing. I want to show you how this would help what you already do. But yeah, just waiting. That and waiting are the two things that are tough.
Patience with it.
Because if you're an athlete, you're not running the right route. Okay, so how do I run the right route? Okay, that's the right route. Like competitive, like if I'm beating the guy off the line of scrimmage, like those are all quick changes, quick things. We won the game, we beat him by a touchdown, whatever it is. And then you go into business. Okay, we won after 8 months.
Right.
Like the schmoozing, the dinners, all that stuff that leads up. It's just like, I get it. Like I gotta talk to them. And it's all about building a relationship, but it's crazy. And I'm not talking about like, I don't like to go out to dinner with people or do the drinks or the happy hours. It's more so that they enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's about the backlog of why it takes so long. Like we wouldn't have to do 8 months of dinners if it could just, the person who I talked to originally passes off the idea and the other person is like-minded enough to be like, okay, we like this. But I get it. Like that's business. It's not like that'll switch and the world is not perfect. Business is not perfect. It's just like getting over that mindset of this is what it takes to get to a deal like this. Like they're not $100 deals. They're not $1 million deals. They could be like a $3.8 million deal that'll, take 6 months for all this technology to be put in and integrated. I get it. But that's one of the challenges that I've had to like mentally overcome, prepare myself for, and just understand that yes, it'll take 6 or 12 months and in the meantime, I now go on LinkedIn and I'll be posting more. I go and do basic technical aptitude tests or certifications and just round myself out in different areas that apply to the business that I'll be doing.
That's smart. I like that.
So I just wanted to throw that tidbit out there. And I'd like to hear maybe what other people say about like from them being an athlete in college or in high school and then going into the corporate world of either sales or marketing or whatever it is, and that adjustment and like what you guys do in the meantime.
I totally agree. Because I'm in my, again, athlete mindset. I wasn't a college athlete, but in every interview, it's like, oh, you're an athlete, be a great fit. Yeah. Or you always hear that shit, whatever. And they always bring it back because it's like you can do the day in, day out shit and like have the long game in mind. You
can be coached.
Yeah, right, exactly. You can be coached. But it's exactly your point. It's like I can practice for a week and then I can see the results on Friday night. Like I know immediately. And like exactly in my job, I was saying earlier, it took me 5 months to get a response from this guy. And let's say we go underwriting everything takes 2 weeks a month to go back and forth to agree on everything, get everything tightened up, buttoned up. If we go under contract, our contract could be 90, 120 days. So I'm looking at 4 months before anything can come to fruition, and like tag that on to how long it took
to even talk
to the guy. We got 10 months to a year. And it's like there's nothing you can do in the meantime. It's like, just because I need to make money, they don't give a fuck. Like, I'm asking them for their money. Like, there's no relation to them at all. And I think I had that this exact conversation with a buddy. It's probably last fall, maybe, because he had one of his good buddies played D1 ball, and then hopped around amateur for a bit, and then wasn't making pro, but then needed to look for a job.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously I'm not in that position, but I can't imagine being in that position till you get to the point you're 25, 26, all you've known is ball. Mm-hmm. You didn't get internships. You didn't wear a suit and tie to an interview. You've known ball your whole life. And then he's got to go apply to tech sales jobs. It's like, what?
Like, what's your background?
Yeah, like, I don't, that's got to be, obviously we know it can be a struggle. I can't even fathom. And then to go from that and the day in the day out grind, the actual physical grind, to, hey, take this computer, sit in that chair for about 8 to 9 hours and type away.
Yeah.
It's grueling, but it's like, it's a totally different type of grueling, because like you're not like physically, literally doing anything.
And you're not tired.
Right, exactly.
It's not physically taxing unless you like have a shitty desk and you got a bad chair. It's just like, I could sit there and send emails, but it's also like what I do for, the 3 months. Like, am I sending an email every day? Like, that's just the type of stuff that you have to kind of find, like, different points of the day. Like, I will go work out in the middle of the day as opposed to the morning or the afternoon, just to kind of reset the day and then carry on with the rest of my day. Mm-hmm. Because I find, like, if I work out in the morning and then I grind work, then I hit like a lull, and then I kind of get a little bit more energy later in the day. But if I go work out in the middle, it's just, I got my grind in the morning, get my shit done, hit the gym around lunch, and then come home, crank out the rest of the day. So it's like, the not having to drive to the office allows me to be on top of shit majority of the day. Mm-hmm.
I wish I had an answer for people. And like, I agree. I'd love to hear from people and what their thoughts are. Because most of our friends were athletes at some point, collegiate or not, whether they played in high school or not. A majority at this point, we're 28. You probably played sports for about half your life.
Yeah, and that mindset's ingrained.
Yeah, exactly. And it's tough to lose that. And you don't want to lose it because the whole competitive thing. But at the same time, I don't want to compete against my coworkers. Yeah, because they do better, I do better, we do better. But it's like a gentle game you got to play. I don't know, man.
Who are you, like, you're competing against yourself, or you're competing against your alter self?
Right, but then, like, we're not in, like, insurance sales. Like, we're not flipping phones at Sam's. Like, it's not like we're seeing, if I do 50 of these a day, I'm walking out of here with $2,500. Yeah. Like, if I do 50 of these a day, 50 of these tomorrow, 50 of these the next day, for the next 6 months, I might see something out of it. But you never know. You never know.
It's not that quick turnaround. That's what I think is the biggest struggle, is just not seeing how, like, your work being rewarded quickly. Mm-hmm. And that's,
like, praise is sweet and all, but saying, hey, you're doing a great job doesn't keep my lights on.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know. And I've always had that thought now. Well, not always have that thought, but I've had that thought coming now, and every time I see an athlete get paid. And it actually came to mind the other day. I saw it on Twitter. I think it was a linebacker for, I think, Washington, the Huskies. It was a purple team. I want to say maybe it was Northwestern. It had to be the Huskies because it was a decent team. No hate against Northwestern. But he played all 4 years, 4-year starter, stud, D1. What he posted saying, I'm so great. He is this big infographic he posted on Twitter, and it was his intro post on LinkedIn. So he was saying, I didn't get the combine invite. I'm now announcing myself into the job pool. And I'm like, that's got to be crazy, man. Because he probably had 400 tackles through the D1 level, went to playoffs, a year or two ago, whatever, but
didn't make it.
Not cutting it out. And like, I'm sure he could walk on or whatever, but...
Practice squad or whatever.
Yeah, right. But then you're bouncing around. You don't.
You never know where you're gonna live.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the pay works with that. Maybe he has a lot of those kids. Not a lot. Some of those kids already have families in the making.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's such a. I don't know. I wish there was, and that's why I love Full Circle. I love that how you're able to incorporate the golf into your actual work, because it's rare that you can actually find. Because the physical activity is just as important as your mental and your financial. Like if you're not physically with it, not saying like physically in shape, but if you don't have something that's not
keeping you active.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping you young.
Yeah.
Like if you die at 45, then what's the point? Yeah, exactly, dude. The standing and walking desk can only get me so far.
Yeah, I haven't invested in one of those yet, but yeah, sometimes I'll be sitting in my chair and I'll get up and I'll just crack my back. I'm like, God, that has to be so unhealthy for me to sit like this all day.
That's what, like, I'm not saying everyone go get a dog, but since we've had this dog, I'm probably averaging. I know that I'm averaging on the days that it's not 1 degree out. I know that I'm averaging like 10,000 steps. Yeah. And I'm not saying go get a dog to get 10,000 steps in, but the days that I do, because I'm not walking him 3 miles at a time. I'm walking up and down the street 3-4 times a day. Yep. But that plus, which I'm already doing, gets me to 10,000. And the days I do hit 10,000 versus the days I'm only doing 5,000, I feel light years better because I'm doing something.
Yep. Just getting active, getting some sunlight.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. Yeah. That's what I'd like to start doing Britt usually does the morning shifts because she's naturally up at like 6. Mm-hmm. She'll do the morning shit with the dog, take him out, feed him, and then when I get up 7:38, if I'm not going to the gym 7:38, then it's time for a second go around. But I'd like to get to the point where I'm getting up and walking him, and then be able to go to the gym and do everything where I can.
Yeah. Yep. Having a dog's fun. I mean, makes your life kind of. You're just like a dog can't open the door to go outside.
Oh, dude, it's responsibility. It hits you like a wall.
You're like, all right, fine, I gotta.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I knew it was a lot of work. I was prepared for that. Mm-hmm. Taking him out. I knew I was going to take him out because that's why we were down to do it. I'm remote full time. If Britt's not at a hospital, she's home full time. So she's home on any given week 40 to 60% of the time. So no matter what, someone's home. Yeah. Always. Yep. And I knew that was going to work for him because the puppy, someone's got to take him out every couple hours. Yeah. If that wasn't the case, I was prepared to do that. I wasn't fully aware and prepared of the puppy energy. Where like right now, got to go up, let him out, feed him, and then he's going to be juiced for the next hour and a half, and I got to do something about it. Yep. And that's the
outside.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. I got to bundle up. He's going to shit somewhere. He's going to find a fucking rock and I get it out of his mouth. Like it's just like that shit that I severely underestimated the puppy energy, which I'm so grateful for that little man. But.
Good. That was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, man. 217. Love you, brother. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good one.